Welcome to Logan's Laboratory. This week I've got a good friend on. We were in nursing school together, and he's a great man. He kind of kept me straight during nursing school. He's smart, he's educated, he's funny, and he's on point. During nursing school, he was in this committed relationship, and he didn't drink, he didn't smoke. I would be like, hey man, let's go get a beer before class or after class. He'd be like, no, we need to study. Be like, come on man, let's just loosen up a little bit. But he kept me on point, and honestly, he's one of the reasons I did so well in nursing school, and we've stayed friends ever since. But I want to give you a little update about like my mental state, like, you know, with all the COVID stuff going on. I've been talking to a lot of people that are smarter than me, trying to get them to make me feel better. Like, you know, doctors, NPs and stuff like that. Like, hey, how do you think this fall's gonna go? Because, you know, peds don't do so well in the winters. We already have flu and RSV. How do you think it's gonna be? And honestly, I'm not getting a lot of good answers. You know, no one really knows what's gonna happen, which did not help whatsoever. But you know who I talked to? My brother, Caleb. Shout out to you, man. I told him how I was feeling and stuff. And he basically said, that's in the fall. Why are you gonna worry about it? Can you do anything that's gonna change it? Like, no. Like, well then why are you gonna worry about something you can't change? It's like, all right, is there anything you can do to change it? I'm like, well, I mean, I can enjoy the summertime. It's, you know, make me feel better. He goes, well, just do that then. Which is such, like, you know, you would think common sense, and you're a smart person, you should be able to think about that, but you just get wrapped up in your own stuff, and then you can't see the forest for the trees, honestly. I mean, there's like 2 weeks where I was just like, oh man, this is gonna suck. That's all I can think about. Not really gonna enjoy it. But he just simply said, if you can't fix it, why even think about it? If you can't do anything to change it, don't focus on it. If you can change something, do it. That's what I've been doing. So, you know, I've been enjoying, you know, Tennessee. I went whitewater rafting with him, and it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna have that video either out or coming out soon. I've really been enjoying the recording stuff. Cool thing that happened when we were up there whitewater rafting, I went and I asked the owner, I asked, hey, where's the owner? I'm kind of looking for a sign to do a quick little intro. And some dude pulled me to the lady and was like, hey, would you like to tell us a little bit about your facilities, you know, from your perspective? This is the owner of, like, you know, a pretty big operation. And she goes, sure, I'd love to do it. So we went to the sign, she did her little intro, it was awesome. And then I talked to her about what I'm doing. You know, I've got a YouTube channel, I'm just, you know, playing around with it. It's not that big, I'm not that good yet, but I'm getting better. But I like doing this kind of stuff, and if you want, I can make you like a little promo video out of the footage I have. You know, I really did enjoy the experience here. And she goes, oh, that'd be awesome. I go, well, since we're here, you know, can like me and my brother get like a free hat? And she gave me me and Caleb a free hat. I mean, look at this hat. This is like high quality hat. Like, I wish you could feel it, because it's legit high quality. And she just gave us a hat. I was like, oh, well, this is awesome. She goes, well, if you're gonna make the video, I can send you our logo and you can incorporate it to the video. I'm like, well, here, let me get your information. She gave me all of her personal information. And she's gonna email me the logo. I haven't got it yet, but she's gonna email me the logo. I'm gonna make the promo video. And she said, well, heck, call me before the next time you come up here, and you can just, like, we can just get you on a boat for free and get you down the zip line, do whatever you want, man. I was like, shoot, are you serious? Like, that's awesome. Like, that is so cool. And I was showing this to a buddy at work, and he's like, well, don't wear it, Logan. This is the first, like, payment you got from, like, a hobby. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's a good point. It is. It's literally the first thing, but I mean, I like the hat. I think I'm gonna wear it. But anyways, that's what's going on with me. We're doing good. We're having fun. But our guest this week, longtime friend, solid dude. He is a nurse as well. He works in a medical ICU somewhere. He's been knees deep in this whole coronavirus thing this entire time. I wanted to ask him his perspective on what nursing school was like. Like, that's what I came in, was like the idea, but we haven't exactly caught up in a while. So it ended up just being me and him talking about all the stuff that's been going on surrounding being new nurses, this coronavirus, how it's changed the practice and the little bit of time that we have as nurses. and just what's going on in our personal lives. So I hope you'll enjoy it. It was really awesome, really good. I enjoyed listening to it, honestly. And listening to yourself is kind of hard, but I enjoyed it. So I would like to welcome Braxton Manning to the stage. You're gonna be like, oh, I get it. I get why Logan enjoys this. It's fun. It's simple.
Dude, these greens are good, man.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah.
I was seriously sitting there going like, what am I gonna cook, man? I was like, oh, I'm gonna bring out like OG Logan food.
Logan. For sure, man. What's this, like some potatoes?
So potatoes and onions. My uncle does them like that.
Okay.
And
you saute the onions?
Mm-hmm. So you put the potatoes in first and throw the onions on top of that. Like you over salt and pepper the potatoes, and then throw in the onions on top.
Okay. Kind of balance it out.
Yeah.
So
My birthday is coming up.
When?
Tomorrow.
What?
I'm not even joking.
Coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow.
It's here.
Yeah, it is here. So we're doing a birthday thing over my uncle's house.
That's legit.
And then I'm trying to go whitewater rafting Thursday.
Okay.
But I was going to stay with a friend of mine in East Tennessee, and he has all of his family up from Louisiana. He's like, dude, I ain't got a free spot in this house. I was like, all right, well.
Sorry.
He goes, next week they'll be gone. I was like, well, okay, I don't have to stay there, but do y'all want to go whitewater rafting with me? He's like, no, they're not doing it. He
Shut
goes,
that down.
yeah, he was like, I will next week, but I'm not going to do it next week. I can't do it this week. My Louisiana people are not about that life.
Dude, I love kayaking and whitewater rafting, man. I love it. It's a lot of fun, dude.
Dude, you're not lying.
They're starting like some kind of bonus program at work where we have to commit to like 2 weeks of overtime.
Okay.
And you get like a bonus 12 and then like $20 extra on top of your base pay an hour.
So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. How do you feel about that? I'm not over at university. I would have to go to an adult ICU.
I mean, I think they should. It's annoying because they should have been doing this from the beginning.
Yeah.
Or like doing some kind of compensation for doing like direct COVID care, but they haven't. And then they're about to, like this week, they're starting to bring in all these travelers. They're going to pay like $2,000 a week to do exactly what we've been doing this entire time.
$2,000 a week.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So there's, needless to say, there's a lot of people that are, well, specifically the people that have been staffing the COVID unit since it started, which is primarily MI, medical ICU is over it, and then CV ICU has basically been helping us. So it's basically medical ICU and CV that have been there the whole time.
You've just been getting screwed almost.
We've just been getting rained out, yeah. And we have gotten nothing extra. No extra pay, no extra incentives. I mean, they'll bring us food occasionally. That's it. But it's just like, dude. And now they're bringing in travelers.
So
Getting paid a crap ton more than we are for doing the exact same work, and we're gonna have to help them out because they don't know our facility. So
exactly.
It's like, dude, why? You could have just been paying us more this whole time, and we would have been picking up.
Okay. So I'm pediatric trauma. Do you think I could come in there, you knowing me, and my skill set, and be able to not kill someone or like?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
I think it would be an adjustment, and you definitely have to adapt to it. But I definitely don't think that you would kill someone.
It's only been less than a year, right at a year, that I was in the CVICU over in St. Francis.
I definitely don't think that you would kill anyone.
So, like,
I mean, it would be an adjustment period because everything's totally different.
Okay.
The way you handle like everything is very different, and you see different things like, especially in the COVID unit, it's basically like respiratory distress and sepsis.
Yeah.
So it's just different.
Sorry. So how much more money was it? It was $20 more an hour.
On top of your base pay. And that's
you have to do one overtime shift every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, actually, just for 2 weeks.
Oh.
That's what the contract is for, and then they're talking about extending it out. So I'm about to sign up for it and just do like 4 days straight for 2 weeks.
I'm so doing it. I'm gonna see if I can come over to university with you.
Dude.
I'm so doing it.
That'd be legit.
Because so I've got the GoPro. My computer is the one that I still had from nursing school. So it takes like So when I started probably cooking around 5:15, just like cutting up onions and stuff, and just like I was doing laundry and stuff. I didn't put like I don't want you to think I put that much work into it. But I started.
This is plenty of work, dude. This is really good.
All right, but I started like. So the GoPro when it records like 11 minutes and then it cuts it, and then does like 11 minutes and then cuts it to prevent like data failure. It's like if one of them gets corrupted, you don't corrupt all of your file. You just get one 10-minute section that's
Like
corrupted.
a little segment.
Which sucks, but it's better than the alternative.
Right.
So to put it online or to meld it together through an editor,
Uh-huh.
it has to just be put all the files together. You edit whatever you want out or in. Do a little intro, and then it takes like it's been an hour that my computer's been sitting in there just like putting it together. Now keep in mind it's like an hour and 45 minutes of
It's not too bad.
talking, and it's 10 gigabytes of 1080p.
Oh.
10 gigabytes. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And I was like, I need a bit better of a computer to handle this.
Yeah, you need to get like a I would get like a 3 terabyte external hard drive.
I got that.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I looked at it last night. I've used half a terabyte of data already.
Oh, jeez. Holy crap.
Yeah. I've been making movies, dude.
Making some moves.
It's just fun. I don't know. I'm still amazed that they're going to pay $20 an hour.
$20 extra.
I know. So you're talking...
But that's only for the days you pick up. So
That's only the extra shift.
Yeah.
But you're talking about on a 12-hour shift, $45 an hour.
But that's
Do you get time and a half?
You get, yeah, it's time and a half plus all your shift is. So you're really coming out making like 60 to 70 an hour for your extra shifts. It's nice too.
So basically, right at $56 an hour?
Something like that.
If I did the math
60,
right? Over 12 hours?
Yeah.
What's the math on that?
Dude, all I know is it's going to be around $60 extra an hour for those extra
Over
shifts.
12 hours is...
But see, that's the thing, man. It's like, why
It's like $700.
Yeah.
I can do almost anything for $700 for 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
On.
It's nice.
I'll pack some...
But see, I think it's not just, you would have to do your 3 shifts there plus a 4th.
Oh, so you'd have to be there for 4 days a week.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think it would apply to you if you're just going to pick up an extra day over there. You'd have to be there for 40. You would have to give them 48 hours. For 2 weeks, yeah.
Oh, that kind of changes it a little bit.
Yeah.
So am I committed enough to that extra money? You're getting basically, over 2 weeks, you're getting an extra paycheck almost.
Yeah, essentially.
You're getting an extra paycheck.
Yeah.
How can you, I don't know, man.
And 4 days is, you're a little tired, but
yeah,
it's not that bad. Like, I've pulled 5 straight there, and after 5, I'm like, yeah, I need some time off.
Yeah.
Like, after 5 12s, doing like critical care work, you're like, screw this, man. Like,
So let me ask you
I
this.
need a few days off.
I don't really ever get to like have a true lunch break working nights.
Same.
Like I just eat at the station.
Yeah.
All right. But there's a definite difference between being able to eat at the station and not being able to eat at the station. Are you able to eat at your station?
So in the COVID unit, you can't. Well, technically, policy, you can't eat at the nurse's station.
Yeah, of course.
But
Right.
back in MI, we did that all the time,
Yeah, right.
especially at nights. But no, yeah. You do get enough of a downtime where you can do that. Now, if you're in the positive section, and if you've got some relatively chill patients, yeah, you have plenty of time to go take a lunch and stuff. But now in the A pod, which is where like our PUIs are, we could rotate 8 to 10 patients out of there in a night. So it can be super busy. Like I've had a few nights up there where I didn't get to take any kind of break at all.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even have time to go, because we have to keep all of our stuff separate in our break room. So I didn't even have enough time to go get a drink of water. I was just running all night.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't mind packing a fanny pack of granola bars and stuff.
Yeah.
You
just bring a Camelback.
Dude, and like a condom gap?
Yeah. Strap the trash bag to your leg.
I'd be up for it. I really would. Oh man,
dude. Honestly, I think you would. I think you would like it, especially in our medical ICU because we can get really fast paced, and honestly, it has kind of like an ED feel to it because we see a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
and we're kind of like the catch-all.
An extra $700
a week.
CV,
neuro. Now, like neurosurgery and stuff, they'll never send that to us. They'll go straight to neuro. Or like someone with an Impella or like open heart, those are always going to get a CV.
Oh, that's so easy then.
But
so you're basically the admission paperwork. I'm sure ventilators everywhere. Or is there like a limit to how many ventilators you can have? I don't mind ventilators.
You're gonna only have 2.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy.
I mean,
two ventilators plus other patients, or just 2 ventilators?
Just 2 vents. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what. When it gets
in MI, yeah.
I'll tell you what. When it gets really bad in the ED, you can have like we were holding for flu this past year. We at one point whoever the secondary nurse had like 3 vent patients.
Yeah, that's not safe.
No, it's not. But everyone else had like 5 to 6 other patients that weren't on vents, but like on high flow constantly, having NG tubes. And it was like, this is a higher patient to staff ratio than the ICUs. Yeah. And they're refusing to take patients because they can't handle it. We don't get that option here.
Yeah.
How is this allowed?
Yeah. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is people standing up and being like, no, we're not taking these patients.
You saw there's nurses in somewhere on strike right now.
Good. They need to be.
Yeah, because of the patient ratios.
Because these hospitals treat you like garbage. For sure. On day shift, for a 48-bed unit with like 7 ICU patients, we had 8 nurses.
All right, say that one more time.
On a 48-bed in our COVID unit, 48-bed unit, we had, well, not 7. There's probably 5 or 6 ICU patients, like on vents, multiple drips going. We had 8 nurses for the entire unit.
Wow. How many? That's like what, 9 patients per person?
It was ridiculous.
No, that's like 6.
Ridiculous. They ended up getting like an extra nurse, I think. But yeah, dude, it was totally ridiculous. Like on night, like there's only been a few times where I've really felt bad for our day shift, and like that was one of them. I was like, this is complete BS.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. This is complete BS. But there's nothing you can do about it. It's like no other unit is willing to send you any extra help. Like you just have to suck it up and take it.
Yeah.
Like it's or unless you're actually willing to go the extra mile and go on strike and be like, no, we're not doing this.
Well, we don't have any unions here in Memphis.
But the only one is the VA, but they're their own their own system.
Yeah, it's federal.
I mean, but the thing is that the idea is that if upper management would treat you right, you totally eliminate the need for a union. But when they take advantage of you and treat you like garbage,
this is when we need it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you probably need a union in place. But then there's always the pros and cons, like people that are just lazy get away with it under a union, and they'll never get penalized, they'll never get fired, unless they like legitimately kill someone.
Yeah.
Other than that, hardly ever show up to work, call out, late.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Lazy. You're basically taking care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll never get fired.
So I guess the only thing that I'm worried technically about is having to pass meds. I just don't want to do it. Do you pass meds in these units?
Yeah.
How much, just like med
with
surg
the
meds?
COVID unit? With the COVID unit, it's usually the level of acuity at university is totally different from Germantown, North, South. We're a level 2 trauma, but we take pretty much any and all of the chronically ill patients.
Yeah, y'all are just honestly a catch-all.
Yeah.
You really are.
And so, we get, super, super sick patients. And so, it's really, managing drips and vents a lot.
Oh, I'm going to be with that.
I mean, on one of my patients, I had, 7 or 8 drips going, so you just have to make sure, when in those situations, I'm calling pharmacy, all the time, getting bags, getting extra bags and everything. Yeah, because some stuff, like vasopressin and crap like that, we don't keep on hand. Which is kind of retarded. You would think we would keep vasopressin on the floor because
ready
it's
to rock and roll.
Yeah, because it's if we're going up on levo, everyone knows we're gonna add vasopressin on board. So it's why don't we just keep this on stock on the floor? Yeah. I can understand like dobutamine and crap like that, but honestly,
You can't.
we keep dobutamine.
You should. Like, here's my
So
thing.
it's like, why can't we?
If you can keep it
basic?
on an ambulance,
Yeah.
you should be able to keep it on the unit.
I
Like,
mean,
come on.
Unless maybe it expires too quick. I don't know. I'm sure there's a logical reason behind it, but
Cheap.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because if you have inventory everywhere, well, then
Yeah.
eventually you're going to miss one that goes bad. And it's like, well, if we all keep it in the pharmacy, well, then we can
Exactly.
keep a closer eye on these nurses.
But
Do you want a glass of tea, dude? Since you don't.
yeah, I'll take some tea.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You don't have to. You don't have to drink it. I told you they're all like really strong and really weird. I don't even know where that brewery is from.
I've never heard of this. But dude, I'm just a weenie when it comes to alcohol, man.
That's all right.
Like, I mean, I choose to avoid it for my own personal reasons.
Yeah.
So it's like when I do drink it, it has to be super fruity.
Yeah.
It just has to be.
Which is completely cool. But I was like, I feel like a Martha Stewart. That's like a homemaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Martha Stewart, because I brewed tea, I made dinner. I was like,
Dude, it's good, man.
I feel like a homeowner almost.
Oh, we're going to go look at a house Tuesday.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my
In
gosh.
Orlando, Mississippi, dude. It's a, again, it's like these are, and I was talking to a lady at work, she put some more questions in my mind, but
Yeah.
foundation, plumbing, electric, gas, and roof. Those
So
are
like, go check it out.
Yeah. So it's like, because especially when we see a house like this, it's listed as 3,100 square foot.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big house.
For $215.
Can you afford a $215 house? Do you want
Yeah.
that mortgage?
I can afford it. I mean, well, I would have to take, the only problem is the down payment.
Yeah.
But the mortgage would be about $900, which I'm paying $1,015 right now.
That's a good point.
And I mean, well, we're still like, I mean, we're living comfortably, and we're still able to make our savings and do everything else. So yeah, I can. And but the thing is like we're living under just my income right now. So whenever Hannah finishes school, we'll be able to get.
Dude, you'll be able to do whatever the hell you want.
Well, we'll be able to knock our loans and our mortgage down a ton.
You'll be able to do whatever you freaking want. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Now, so alright, so I was like kind of looking into houses at one point, but not really, you know what I'm saying? I saw what the mortgages were going to be, and then like property insurance, and what the prices around Memphis were, and it was just a bit much. Yeah.
You need to look. I'm telling you, man, like, you get more bang for your buck in Mississippi. I know you don't want to live in Mississippi.
I know.
I know you don't want to.
But you're right, you do. I just don't want the income tax.
Oh God, this is unsweet.
I told you it was unsweet.
I forgot about that.
There's sugar
Is
in
that
there.
like, what'd you put in this?
Yes.
Did you put ginger? Not ginger.
Yes.
Some cinnamon?
Yeah, a little cinnamon in there.
I'm like Guy Fieri.
Yeah. You know, I met him once.
Did you really?
Well, okay, I say met. I was
From a
within
distance.
an arm's reach.
you took
Yeah,
a
there's a picture. I've got a picture of him taking a picture of someone else, and I'm like, ah.
You have this random person in the back.
Yeah, that's actually taking a picture with him, and I'm just there. But no, so I do black tea always is my base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I do. So this one was apple cinnamon to spice it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a good palate. It's a cinnamon. Yeah, actually it is. So
I mean, to be fair, cinnamon has a very distinct flavor. So.
it does, but it's really light in this one.
Yeah, it's like a little hint.
Mm-hmm.
Little hint of cinnamon.
A hint, like a mint julep almost. Oh my god! If I had bourbon, I would have made like unsweet tea and bourbon. It's actually a really good combination.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like an old Southerners drink. Super good.
I don't drink sweet tea very much at all anymore.
Dude, it makes my teeth feel coated.
Well, I mean, like I've got like heart disease and diabetes in my family already, so I'd rather just stick to preventative measures.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, like green tea with a tiny bit of sugar and some honey.
What's your shit?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it's good. Only bad thing is green tea doesn't have any caffeine, so.
I thought it had more caffeine.
Like Med green tea, I think is caffeine free. by nature.
I don't think that's right.
Oh, dude.
I don't think that's
right.
right.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
I don't think that's right at all, actually. I think because black tea,
What?
the only difference between black tea and green tea is black tea is fermented green tea.
I gotta look
This
up.
is all correct. This is
Dude,
all true.
The last time I heard is that green tea doesn't have caffeine.
I think someone lied to you.
Maybe it's probably him.
Yeah, the doctor.
B-word.
The doctor. Dude, one of the, so we had a secretary like 5 years ago that quit to go to med school. I guess 4 years ago, because now she's out of med school? Yeah, she's out of med school now, okay? So she was in school as a secretary for like a year when I first started, so we kind of lightly knew each other. It's been 4 years, she's now graduated. Now she's back at Le Bonheur, like, as a doctor. And now, you know, I always make the joke, I'm no doctor, but I was like, well, wait, Mary, you are a doctor now. Like, you're the doctor. What do you?
And she was a secretary?
You're a secretary, yeah.
That's legit, dude.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. It kind of makes me go,
Smart, man.
do I want to go back to doctor school?
To doctor school?
No, I don't.
Doctor school.
I don't, because I enjoy
You
my
don't want to
job.
get a nurse practitioner?
No. I kind of want to see if I get a travel show.
Travel show?
Yeah, like on Travel Channel.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could totally see you.
I've really enjoyed this. So, I thought about
So,
travel
an
nursing.
8-ounce cup of green tea contains between 30 and 50 milligrams of caffeine.
How much about black
It's
tea?
really not that much.
No, it's about a cup of coffee. An energy drink, like Monsters, have like 180, 200.
Yeah.
Bangs,
They
the
make-
bangs,
they-
have 300.
95.
Okay, so
It's
half the
significantly
amount.
more.
Half the
Significantly
amount.
more.
Half the amount. Not significant. It's only half.
it's double almost.
What are you talking about?
You want to get black tea?
Oh no, so
I'm a wild
So-
stuck on teas.
I know you are. So Mary would.
A little bit less, 47.
Okay.
Just
so
slightly
black.
less.
So black tea's a little bit stronger, is what we're saying. Or did green tea have more?
Green tea had a slightly. It said 30 to 50.
Why did that one just come up with the exact amount then?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know.
You
Oh
can't
well,
trust
this
Google.
is measured by 1 cup.
Which is 8 ounces.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the other one is measured by?
I think it said 8 ounces. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it said 30 to 50, so
That's
it
weird.
varies. It's weird. Yeah. It may vary by like brand and if you have because you know you can get green tea with like mint and all this other bull crap.
Yeah, you can.
I prefer mint. Eventually, I'm gonna come out as a homosexual.
I knew it. I knew it. Everyone goes to the school.
Really?
Why is Braxton so fit and has such a good haircut all the time?
Oh my god.
Well-
how does this look? Be honest with me.
I like it. It's a little bit longer. It is.
Well, I have it in a completely different way. Like
Okay,
I used to
alright,
come it this way. I'm gonna come to this way.
Have you seen that South Park, Parks and Rec?
No.
Oh, there's a skit about that. He's like, I did it a completely different day. And they're like, what? I combed it the opposite direction. And then they're in a business meeting, and the guy goes, nah, I liked it the other way better. You should have stuck with the first one. He goes, damn it, I knew it. Is it really a different direction too?
Yeah, it is totally. I just started doing this like 2 weeks ago because Hannah was like, I've always kind of wanted to try it this way because my hair's a little. It feels like it's a little bit more flowy.
It's
than
exactly.
outside.
It's okay. It's exactly opposite of mine.
Mine used to be like how you.
Yeah. So left hand over.
No, right hand over.
Now you're doing right hand over.
Yes, used to be left hand over.
So I go.
Yeah, and
Left
mine,
hand.
Mine is
Oh, you
right hand
cross
over.
though. You
No,
cross.
I've got food in this.
Oh.
hand. I'm gonna rub some.
I was like, that doesn't make no sense. Why are you
Yeah.
crossing?
And then I had someone comment on it at work, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna stick with this. I
All right.
felt a little weird about it because like if it's shorter, it looks freaking weird. But when it's longer, it like all of my strands will actually go this way. Because I've got one strand right here that when it's
Mhm.
shorter, it just like sticks
Sticks
out
right
to the
out.
side, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Oh, I like it.
push up.
Are you still doing it yourself?
I need to trim the sides. I haven't cut the top in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
I just need to, I'm trying to let it grow out a little bit, see what it
Yeah.
looks like.
I'm trying to get like ballsy enough to let it really go. But then, you know, I have to buy a scrub cap to keep it down at work. And I don't know if I want to go through all that.
Yeah. I
But I'm
about
already
that,
hot
too.
natured.
Dude, I bought like 3 scrub caps from Amazon, and I wore them one day, and I was like, no.
Like navy
No.
blue and everything.
No, it was just black. It's like a black cloth material that you just tie around your head.
No.
No, dude, I got way too hot, man.
No, it's too much. It's
Dude,
way too much.
One day they gave us plastic gowns for the COVID unit. They gave us
like
plastic
the cheap
gowns.
yellow plastic gowns.
No. Those are like a paper material.
So they have some that are plastic
so
like that.
They're actually like breathable.
So
These are like thick blue plastic gowns that we have to wear for 12 hours. Dude, like hot as hell, bro.
Dude,
plastic is not breathable.
no,
at all.
They basically gave you a poncho.
A shower curtain
Yeah.
is what they gave
Oh.
us. Like
Shower curtain glued together.
it was so
There's probably some
ridiculous.
old lady that's making them right now, making a killing.
That's what I well, I don't know if they were making, but I'm sure we've had some of our supplies donated to us.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, right now, dude, our COVID unit is totally full.
Fuck. So one of the ladies that I work with teaches at Arkansas, and I wasn't, I don't necessarily wear my mask when I'm typing. Okay, I don't. I'm not in the patient's room. It's not the policy or anything. I just do it. Well, there's this older lady that I said teaches. She walks by and she goes, "Young man, where's your mask?" And I go, "It's right here." And she goes, "I want you to know that my friend works at a Baptist, and she works her full 12s. And she's in the ICUs over there. They also have to do on-call shifts. She did her 12, got called back in at 3 a.m. and hasn't been able to leave the hospital since. Everyone on call has been called in, and they are completely, utterly full in the ICU because of the COVID. You should probably wear that mask, young man." And I went, but because she doesn't want to get it. Because she's an older lady.
It's not airborne.
I've heard so many different things.
It's not truly airborne.
It's not truly airborne, but so it's what is it, particulate? What do they call it?
Well, it's like all we're required to use is like droplet and contact precautions.
Okay, yeah.
It's if
so that's all y'all are required to do?
No. What are you talking about?
So droplet and contact precautions for COVID.
They are still in like negative pressure rooms, technically.
Dude, okay. So let me ask you this: how long do you have to wait after a COVID patient leaves a room to clean the room?
It's supposed to be 2 hours. It's supposed to be 2 hours.
Okay. Who cleans the room?
Housekeeping. We
Okay.
don't clean the room.
Get this. Okay, so we have 4 negative pressure rooms in our entire ED.
Yep.
To get 4, they closed off 4 of our basic rooms and made that whole area just a negative pressure area with tape and plastic walls. I'm not even joking. And it just blows into the other side of the unit.
So good.
It legit blows into the other side of the unit.
Well, when all this was going down, they did several studies in Italy because it was particularly horrible over there. And patients that had diagnosed COVID and were on a vent, they got samples of the air to see if the virus was still alive in the air. And they got it from patients that had been there in the unit for a day. They got it from patients that had been there for 3 days. And in none of the cases, there was no live virus sample in the air, ever. They were able to collect virus strands that were on like vents, like vent housings and stuff like that. But nothing was actually, there was no live virus strains in the air.
So basically where the droplets got pulled to.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what we're saying.
That's it. But at the same time, I don't think it's required airborne precautions, but it's one of those things it's probably good. You just be as cautious as you can.
Right. Sorry. So peds, respiratory is our thing, right?
Yeah, right.
So respiratory, we're good. However, flu, RSV, and adenovirus are all coming back here shortly. You can't differentiate them from COVID on site because they present
on site. No.
On site.
Lab tests and chest X-rays. COVID looks
a little bit
more distinct.
Yeah, but. So we've got 4 rooms that are negative pressure, okay? We're supposed to wait an hour before we are supposed to wait an hour before we clean them. Our housekeeping used to do the cleaning, and now they're just saying, fuck it, the nurses can do it.
Seriously?
I am not even joking.
That's BS.
I'm not even joking. So 4 negative pressure rooms. The negative pressure room that they made out of our backup unit is fucking all the way down the hallway. Okay? I kid you not, 50 yards away from.
If it's a positive going to a positive, they can clean it whenever because it doesn't matter. They're already positive going to a positive room. Because we're in the house.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So in our back pod, everyone's positive.
Yeah.
You're not back there unless you're positive.
We'll never have that.
Exactly.
Because we're coming from the street, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
We don't have that. That's awesome.
Now, if you're in the A pod, they're supposed to wait 2 hours and then tree the rooms. In the back pod, it's pretty
It's
much
just
do
free
it
for
back,
all.
Yeah, because everyone's positive, so it's like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
No one can get more COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, one of the different weirder chicks at work is like following the different strands. Because there's like 7 different strands, and there's a website you can actually like follow them.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been on it since it started.
Oh god.
And she's like, she always tells me weird stuff. She's like, well, the immunity may only last 3 to 4 months, but you're not immune to the other strand or this strand or that strand. Just kind of how, like, you know, there's like god awful amounts of flu strands.
Yeah.
It's doing the same exact thing. So like, yes, we get our flu shot, but some, you know how if you get the flu after the flu shot, it's less bad. Not because you didn't catch the flu, it's just because you didn't catch the worst 3 strands of the flu for that year, or the worst 3 strands of that flu that were prevalent in Europe, because our flu seasons are backwards, right? So you did catch the flu, just not the worst, one of the worst 3.
Yeah.
That is what it amounts to. So it's interesting because if this person had COVID A, and this one had COVID B, which I don't really know all the COVIDs, right?
I've never heard of there being multiple strains of COVID because we only test for one. It's the SARS-CoV-2.
There are 7
CoV-2.
There are 7 different strands.
Really?
Yeah. It's part of the CDC website, something that she was like showing me how it's like on the different entry points into the country. It's different, man. It's very regional too. Right?
Yeah.
What's that? All right.
And it's mainly in like densely populated areas.
Yeah,
which
obviously.
only makes sense.
Yeah. So we've got back to the 4 negative pressure rooms.
Mm-hmm.
The other night this came up. We had 2 rooms with patients in it and 1 room that was still in that hour waiting period. I had a severe asthmatic come in, and we have like protocols for like the acute stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in, they get back-to-back nebulized treatments with Atrovent. So they get albuterol and Atrovent that I put in the order at triage.
Yeah.
Okay, if they score. Take them back there, and I go to the room that's empty, and he's like, no, you can't go in there. So I have to take a severe asthmatic all the way 50 yards down the hall to that one. Okay, I go back there, I finish putting in the triage, they come in, they stick them for an IV, the RT comes down there, starts the treatment, and I have to walk all the way down the 50 yards back to the doctor. I'm like, hey, look, this kid's like, because we score on a 12-point system.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this kid's scoring a 10, 11 if you want to, if you want to round up. Definitely not less than 10. Okay. They're like, oh, okay, we'll get down there. And it took them fucking like 10 minutes to make it all the way down the hallway because it's all the way down there. Critical patients should not be all the way down the hallway. So I went to So another weird thing about this, if they score moderate, which is a 5 to 8, they get a nebulized treatment, not back-to-back, not magnesium sulfate, and not solumedrol. That's the severe.
Mm-hmm.
The moderates just get a treatment to start off with and oral steroids. Okay. Well, now because if we nebulize the treatment, they have to be in negative pressure room.
Because you're just aerosolizing it.
You're just like every breath they're taking, they're just like taking they're more than likely positive. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Just blowing COVID all up in the air.
Yeah.
Blowing it everywhere. So now we don't nebulize treatments. We're just doing puffs.
Yeah.
But isn't it still particulates in the air? And
they're not traveling as far though.
They're not traveling as far, but still, it's still, they're jumping on and everywhere. I mean, it's not like, the nebulized steam.
Yeah.
It's weird.
We started doing nebulized treatments only if patients are vented because everything's contained when you're vented. But dude, when all this started, probably a week after everything was just crap was hitting the fan, they took and transported a patient that ended up being COVID positive with BiPAP on down through the halls and everything, up the elevator, through the halls to their new room, all with the BiPAP on, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what's happening here? Like,
did no one think?
Exposed everyone.
The entire hospital, basically.
Yeah, you just exposed everyone. Yeah.
My God.
Well, we've had a couple of cases of patients popping positive in other areas of the hospital, and then they get transported to us.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's
impossible to like totally contain it.
Yeah.
You can just be smart and use your PPE appropriately.
I mean, I'm sure. Have you felt sicky before? Like
Before this?
no, like during this. Like you're like, oh, you know. I'm not.
I think
like
it was all
100%.
psychosomatic, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't felt legitimately sick, but I don't really get sick anyways. Like,
Yeah.
I've never had the flu.
There was like a day or two I was like, is this something?
Like,
Nah.
I would knock on wood with that.
Yeah, I know, right? There's
You
no,
know,
there's
any
like,
wood in here.
no,
What the
that's
hell?
I'm cheap. There's like some over there. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've never really been worried about it. No, like I'm pretty fit, I guess.
Yeah.
A little fit. And moderately.
Yeah, you are.
Moderately healthy. Like I'm not an extreme of anything, but
Yeah.
I feel like if I did get it, I would be able to come out fine. I don't have any pre-existing conditions, so. But then again, like Hannah's an asthmatic, so. And when the seasons change, dude, she gets bad. Like she
Really?
has to use like a nebulizer.
That
So
sucks.
it's like I definitely wouldn't want to
Yeah, I
hurt her.
don't want to bring it home,
Yeah. That's the biggest fear.
but I am swimming in it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But dude, that's what me. I was talking to Hannah about this the other day because one of her friends just posted a Facebook message saying that she was COVID positive and that she thought she got it at work, and I'm like, how the hell are all these people getting popping positive at their place of like? Are they not wearing their
But what
masks? Like,
employment?
what is happening?
What is she
I
doing?
don't know. And I wouldn't say the name anyway.
Yeah, true. Is it healthcare?
I don't think so.
Oh.
But it's like we've at university, but university also has strict PPE policies. Like if you're in the COVID unit, you're mask and gown for your whole 12 hours. And
Jesus.
that's yeah. Well, and even if you're
Tiny.
not in the COVID set, you have to go to. If you go to the break room, apparently there's a magical barrier in the break room that stops COVID. So you can just disrobe everything. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I love it.
Yeah, but we had a wizard come by and enchant the room. Yeah.
I had that question when I
He
came back
put
from
some
Europe.
salt on the doorway.
Oh yeah,
so COVID
yeah,
can't
yeah.
pass.
The spirits don't come through.
No.
Because like when I came back from Europe, that was my whole realization. I was on the longest flight was like 13, 14 hours, 12 hours. And so like 3-4 hours in, they come around and start serving the food, and I had brought an N95 mask just to make my mom happy.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I didn't think, no one thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think I had I had one N95 mask and 2 simple face masks to make my mom happy. Now I'm in the N95 mask at this point for like 24 hours. So you're in a sealed container.
Yeah.
3-4 hours into the flight, they serve the food and drink, and you go,
Wait. Hold on a second.
I can't eat or drink for the next 8 hours. I've already been on it for 4. Can eat or drink for the next 8 hours because there's nowhere I can get away from. There's no safe zone on the thing that recirculates air.
Unless a magical wizard came by and blessed the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like this is the break room.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. It's weird.
But you know, it is what it is.
But I guess in your mind you have to have some kind of safe place.
You do.
You have to.
It's like
it can't get me in here.
Right,
It
exactly.
probably can. Yeah,
It's like
it's probably everywhere.
It's like how clean are your hands, right? Like your hands are clean, the gloves are dirty. Okay, that's how my mind works. Like just
Yeah.
last night, someone came by and like touched my computer with the gloves on, and I'm not a person that cleans my workstation. Okay, but she touched it with gloves on, and I went, I gotta clean it. And I cleaned it before I touched it.
Yeah.
Just because she was wearing gloves. She didn't even touch a patient. She just like
Yeah. It's just.
It's the safety.
It's contaminated.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, but we saw a huge influx after, because it takes about a week and a half to 2 weeks for symptoms to set in. And so, yeah, sure enough, like, once you hit that mark from all these protests and riots, it's like
Oh,
a
dude.
huge influx of people.
Huge. So
Huge
I'll tell you
influx.
this: every single patient I've admitted has popped positive for COVID,
That's surprising.
for GI issue, trauma issue,
Yeah.
everything non-respiratory where we don't suspect it, and we have just because we admit it, we're testing everyone.
Yeah, right.
They pop positive.
Screening everyone. It's crazy, dude.
Oh, I wanted to tell you. So you know how you were saying someone put someone with BiPAP right through the hospital?
Yeah.
When we first started testing, okay, like one of the very first tests, we sent a COVID test, or somewhere in the hospital sent a COVID test, and it didn't go to lab, went to the NICU. Okay?
Okay.
Right? So at the tube station, the people open it up, they go, what is this? Now it's labeled COVID
Oh
with the
my
patient and everything
God.
on it. It's
They
double
took it
bagged.
out.
They took it out of the
Oh
first
my
bag.
Jesus.
They're looking at it. It's double biohazard bag. They look at it, okay? And then Still, there's a label that says COVID test, right? They took it out of the second bag, and then for some reason opened it up. And then when they opened it up,
Did they smell it too? Did they put their tongue in the tube to test what it was?
That's what it was. They opened it up to look into it for what reason, I don't know. And they smelled it. They smelled it.
Why?
I don't know.
What is wrong with these people?
Two nurses.
They're like trained nurses,
These are,
right?
these are the people that like I admire because I don't do their job. These are the people that like take care of like the tiniest of the tiny humans, and they
What the hell is wrong
They
with
had like
you,
a
dude?
biohazard unit come up there. Luckily, nothing bad happened.
So stupid, dude.
Could just imagine being the person that did that.
Even if it was just regular patient lab samples, I wouldn't take them out of the bag. I'd just be like, oh, these need to go in the lab.
Yeah. I don't even care what it is.
No.
It's something I don't want. It's something I don't need. Pass it on.
Yeah.
That's all you do, right?
They must have been bored out of their effing mind.
Dude, I don't
Whoever
know.
got that and just be like it's fine
Like,
wine.
but so
to taste
how?
it, dude.
How and why did the top come off? Why? Why? That's the only point that I'm like, you know what VTM looks like. you know what VTM looks like. Well, maybe you don't because they're NICU nurses. They don't. They only touch clean babies. Like NICU babies
true,
never
yeah.
leave the hospital or can't or they
Not
won't
for
go back to the
months,
NICU.
yeah. Like,
If
they're
they
there
go,
for
they can't
months.
come back to the NICU.
Yeah.
Because then now they're dirty, as far as NICU is concerned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like if you have a preemie, your preemie can go from like Methodist Germantown to the Med or LeBon or anywhere that has a NICU. But if they get discharged home and then catch like RSV and come back a day later, a week
They can't
later,
come back
they
to the
cannot
NICU.
go.
Really?
Even if they don't catch anything, they've
I didn't know
gone
that.
gone and been around outside germs.
Yeah. So they're not clean anymore.
Which is interesting in one fashion because you let the adults come and go.
Yeah. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it really doesn't. Like, but I'm sure, like you said, I'm sure there's some reason somewhere that they do
Hose them
that.
down with chlorhexidine because that
That-
apparently
that
saves
kills
us from everything.
Yeah, right?
Make sure you use those chlorhexidine wipes. Sterilize your patients.
See, this is the reasons why I'm like, maybe I don't want to do this 2-week contract over there.
It'd be fun, dude. It's a different world though for sure.
I'd look at it so.
It'd be like if I went to peds, it'd be totally different. I don't think I would be lost and I would kill someone, but it would definitely be an adjustment period for sure.
Yes, I completely
For
agree.
sure. And it's totally different.
Oh, shit, I forgot to turn on the light. I just realized that.
We're like super. I mean, it looks pretty good in here though. I mean, well, we'll see what it. It's a little bit brighter. The lighting actually was pretty good.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with myself.
Did you get ready to get some more potatoes?
Dude, get anything you want.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
You're so weird about food. You know, I went and got seconds.
Yeah, I was like super excited about I had a PS4 for a long time,
But
I was really excited about Nintendo Switch though. I really wanted to get it to play Legends of Zelda: Breath of the Wild because I've heard so many like good things about it.
I don't know what that is.
What?
I don't know that video game well enough to.
Well, I mean, it's like I guess the game on Nintendo Switch.
Is Legends of Zelda?
Yeah. I mean, you've got like your.
Is this yours or mine?
That's mine. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, this is the picture of me on national TV. My first 2 months as a paramedic.
For real?
Yeah, legit.
What game is this?
This is the University of Memphis versus Cincinnati game. The
Dude,
quarterback
that
got
is
knocked
awesome.
the F out. There he is. There I am. Wait, I'm gonna show it to.
Dude, that is awesome.
That's me
He's a star.
Oh, I was born to be a star. I keep telling everyone that like I was born to be a rich man, and I'm just working on it at this point.
I mean, you have the aspirations and you've got work ethic. You can attain that for sure.
I was born to be a rich man, and I will be one day.
One day. And really just if you know how to manage your finances, dude.
Well,
and you've got the work ethic, dude. It's definitely attainable.
so I'm kind of stuck. I want to go travel nursing.
Make a lot of money.
However, I also want to be able to, like, leave my current job with the satisfaction that I hit all my markers.
You've accomplished something.
Yeah. Oh, I spilled my tea.
Good.
Oh, at least it's not wine.
Luckily, it's unsweet, so
Yeah,
it'll be
won't
easier to come
sugar.
up.
So,
Especially just dark water.
right, so like, I hit my 5 years in January.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I can take all of my 4.3B with me. The downside is, I feel like, as a paramedic and a tech, I feel like that chapter is finished.
Yeah.
Because I did all the trauma stuff, I did the suture and the casting and all that stuff. I feel like I accomplished it.
Yeah.
However, as a nurse, I have not made it to that level.
Okay.
Because like I haven't done the med position and traumas enough. I don't feel comfortable with it. Because it's all weight based, dosing it out.
Oh.
So like when they're calling for the meds and like a rest for an adult, it's an amp. It's an amp. It's an
Right.
amp. Right? It's an amp. It's so easy.
Yeah, it is a lot easier.
With kids, you have to do it in tuberculin. You have to do the epi in tuberculin syringes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
Dosing out all this. You're dosing out almost all of the medications, if not all of them, in tuberculin syringes.
Dude, for our codes, my preceptor actually came up with this idea, but instead of just doing amps of bicarb, you just hang a bottle of bicarb and let it run in as you're doing the code.
Oh, y'all use bicarb that much?
Yeah.
Dude, we don't. We
Yeah.
hardly ever use bicarb in a
Because
full rest.
we deal with mostly septic patients.
That's true.
So in severe sepsis, like the body loves bicarb because
it's resetting that
yeah,
acid.
it's getting rid
I
of
bet you
that
those
acid.
lactic acids are crazy.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of times, sometimes, and then not everyone does it. My preceptor was the one that actually started doing it, and everyone was like, "Wow, this is actually a good idea. Like this is
Easy
actually
and
helping." Yeah.
straightforward.
And then, because all you're doing is just hanging primary tubing and just letting the bicarb run in. The
That's
whole time.
smart. That's
yeah,
smart.
it's super smart. And then you just give everything through your secondary port through your IV tubing.
That's awesome.
Super smart. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we do this? Like this should be instituted.
Yeah. So it's amazing, like the little things like that that
Yeah.
people just come up with. It's like I had this come up. I had to give Rosefin to like a tiny baby, like a 2.5-3 kilo baby. You have to give it over 30 minutes, and it can't be over a concentration of 40 milligrams per ml.
Kill their kidneys.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But you have to give it over 30 minutes at the same time, or you'll kill their veins, I guess, if you give it too concentrated. But you still give it over the right rate, I guess. But anyways, I'm sitting here, and we reconstitute all of our antibiotics except for Vanc. So I reconstituted it. I'm sitting there, I'm like, a 50 ml bag, which is what we usually dilute it in, is a bolus on this kid. I don't feel appropriate giving an antibiotic in a bolus. Like, the kid needs the bolus, I'll give you that. But it feels inappropriate to give
Give
a
it with the
bolus.
bolus.
Yes, because basically it's an uncharted bolus. People won't look at it as a bolus unless
No.
they go look at the amount. It'll just be like antibiotic, maintenance fluids. Oh, they could use another bolus, and now they've gotten 2 boluses. One of them that no one just thinks about unless you look at the amount of volume, right? So I'm a charge nurse, I'm like, hey, how can I do this? She goes, well, you can do it at the max concentration in a syringe. But then you got to mix it up in something other than the vial. Because the vial puts it at 100 milligrams per ml. So I would have to somehow, I guess I would have had to pull up the saline in the syringes we mixed in and then pull in the medication on top of that, which again, to me, feels a little inappropriate. Because I guess you could have pulled it up in another syringe and then shot it in there. But anyways, it was like really, really intense math and intense sterile procedure to be able to do all this shit. And I go, I just don't feel comfortable with that. She goes, well, why don't you just take a 50 ml bag and just waste 30, 40 cc's of it? I went, done. That's so easy. That's so much easier. Just pulling out 30 cc's of a 50 cc bag and then putting your antibiotic, it gets the concentration way lower, at least half of the max, and you can still give it over the 30 minutes without wasting medication in the tubing, or a lot of medication in the tubing.
Yeah, right.
I was like, this is ingenious. This is the best idea I've ever heard. Why don't we do? Why wasn't this taught to everyone?
No, right.
Why did we just think about it right now? Because the pharmacist was in a trauma, and I'm sitting here trying to figure this out. We've got a 30-minute window that we have to get our antibiotics started, right? I'm sure y'all do too. And I was like, I'm kind of lost. It's genius, freaking ingenious.
Very smart, dude.
I never even thought about it. Never even thought about it.
No, obviously this is the adult world, so, and it's the ICU, so we don't ever deal with like properly dosing medications like that or pre-mixing everything. Well, we did have a nurse that it was just like patients' blood pressure was dropping rapidly, and we needed to get them started on some kind of pressor.
Yeah.
And she went in there and like pre-mixed her own epi, like with the crash cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Like pre-mixing an epi or mixing an epi drip. That's something we have to do, and that's one of those skills that I'm not comfortable with yet.
Really?
Yeah, because I just haven't done it.
And this is and no one does it anymore. Like
Yeah.
at pharmacy just does it and sends it to us. But that's just, she's been a nurse forever, and they just used to do that all the time. And she just pulled out the crash cart and just mixed up her own epi drip, and then hung it and told the pharmacist what she did. And this pharmacist is awesome. His name's Leo, coolest guy ever.
Really?
Oh yeah. And will go out of his way to get you whatever you need in any situation. Like he's like ran us medications up before. Super cool guy. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome. I would have done the same thing." And we're like, all right, Sharon. Good job, Sharon. Way to show out. Yeah, it was weird.
It's like, hey, just send me a label so I can scan it, please. My numbers aren't looking too good this month.
I'm not gonna lie, man. In the COVID unit, I click off a lot of crap.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and honestly, if they wanted to, I'm sure it'll happen at some point. If they wanted to go back and like audit my charting, they can go on the Omnicell and see that I'm pulling all of my meds out. So it's not like I'm not, because we had a situation where a nurse was clicking off her meds and she wasn't giving anything. Nothing. She wasn't giving any of her meds to any of her patients. She was literally just clicking them all off. She got fired.
Oh my God.
So and she was one of those, she was just always messy when you follow behind her, always. And like, she would always leave crap undone. Her patients would look good, but like, she was never caught up on charting. She would always be there for like 2 hours just charting everything.
Yeah.
And with easy patients, and you're like, what have you been doing all day? Like, you just sit up here and talk?
Yeah.
She was really nice and her patients looked good, but like, when you go on the MAR, nothing had been given since like 3, and I'm sitting there and I've got meds due at 8, and I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Like, you're just gonna leave me all this bull crap to do? It should have been done on your shift. And like, she was like, no, I'll do it. And I'm like, no, at this point you're wasting my time. So I like went and grabbed all their meds that was due 2 hours ago, and I went and gave them all. Well, she did that to the wrong nurse, and he like safeguarded her.
Yeah.
Because it happened all the time. And they ended up auditing her. Or I guess, I don't know what the proper term is. I'll just say audit. But they ended up checking her, and they found out that she wasn't pulling out any of her meds from the Omnicell. Yeah. So like, I mean, nothing was her patient. I mean, she wasn't giving any of her meds to her patients. Antibiotics, steroids.
Oh my God.
It's like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like a multivitamin.
Oh.
Whatever, click it off.
Even then.
I mean, I'll give it, but sometimes, and I'm in a rush, and I forget one thing, and I forget the freaking multivitamin that's not, you can't even pull it out of the Omnicell. It's like in their patient drawer. Sometimes I'll click it off. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But a steroid, antibiotics,
medication,
electrolytes, like electrolyte replacements, like magnesium, potassium, like, you have to hang that. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like,
and she just didn't do
you were
that.
you were literally putting your patients at risk by not doing that.
Wow.
And you're making them worse.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, she ended up getting fired over it.
Man, I mean, gladly so, obviously.
Yeah. Because in that point, it's like, you can't even really give someone a warning in that case, because it's like, how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, that's completely inappropriate.
Yeah, how long have you been negligent?
Hopefully they reported her to the state.
Supposedly, she still has her license, and now she's trying to get into flight nursing. That's the last time I heard of her. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's really scary.
And I'm sitting over here like,
and dude, she was good, and she was good in like codes and everything. Like, she was good.
Lazy. That's what this amounts to.
But when it came to actual bedside nursing, she was so lazy.
That's all that amounts to. She's lazy.
She was great to have as part of your team if you had like a code or something traumatic happen. Like, she was good. She was there, and she was getting everything together. She was like charting stuff for you. But like, when it came to just being a regular nurse,
no go.
No go.
Interesting.
So I mean, maybe she would do fine in like an ED scenario. Maybe she just doesn't need to be at the bedside.
Yeah.
But yeah, which means that's still bedside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be on the
She
floors.
needs to be in an acute setting.
Yeah,
period.
like just like
Only acute. Never nothing but acute.
yeah, nothing but acute. So I mean, maybe flight nursing is just where she needs to be.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing, but still, I feel like if you're willing to cut corners on one
Yeah,
thing,
exactly. Yeah.
I feel like it says a lot about your character.
It does.
It's like I can't trust you. It's like I have a hard time, and this is something I have to work through. I have a hard time trusting another man that cheated on his woman. Like I know this is like a real blanket statement. I don't like blanket statements, but I don't want
it is weird.
you in my life if you're willing to cheat on the person you're supposed to be completely committed
Love
to.
more than anyone.
Yeah, because if you cheat on them, you don't give a fuck about me. Obviously you have to work with
That is
them.
a pretty blanket statement.
It is, but
I'm
it's
surprised you actually.
but it's so
that conservative on it.
because I can't trust you.
Yeah,
Because cheaters cheat, liars lie. It is simple as that.
I get you.
And it's just it's mind-boggling to me how like some people just like, oh yeah, they cheated on this person, they get with me and we're all cool.
Well, no cheating.
All right,
Exactly.
exactly.
They were with them for 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't get it one bit.
You had a good night with them. Like,
yeah, right.
I mean,
Hopefully.
no, maybe. Yeah, that is wild. I have a hard time with that too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's like an easy way to get through it.
Yeah. That and know-it-alls, man. Like I really, especially working in the medical field, I cannot stand people that act like they know everything.
Yeah.
Because when crap hits the fan, they're the ones that need the most help.
Yeah.
And I'm not lying. Like, oh, dude, it just like irks my nerves, man. Like, bro. Example. So I was helping this one girl. Like, we've had to get several patients intubated in the COVID unit.
Okay.
And so, like, I've been getting a ton of experience with that.
In
like,
the intubating
getting
process?
people intubated and like getting drugs together, like the whole nine. Like,
Oh, so
charting
RSI
every-
basically.
getting charted everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, we're not intubating, but as the nurse, you're facilitating everything.
You're doing
you know?
everything but putting the tube in a hole.
But putting the tube in, yeah.
And that's honestly, it's like
Yeah.
like I've got EMT friends that are like, I want to go to paramedic school so I can intubate and stuff. I'm like, if you can learn a skill in a day
Yeah.
and be semi-proficient, is it really that hard of a skill? Because that's how long it takes you to learn how to intubate. It takes years to be able to do like an upside down, like someone that like rolled a car upside down, they're still seat belted in, and you're like doing, what do they call it, the tomahawk, where you're upside down and you put it back in there. That
Really?
takes, oh god, yeah, that takes time and skill.
That would be legit.
But in hospital intubations,
Yeah. I mean, but we have.
but anyways,
we
I
have-
think what I'm saying is I think our job's harder because we have to have all of the shit ready.
Yeah. Have
To go.
everything charted
All
properly. get
all the
orders
person that
put
has
in.
to like
Yeah.
do is literally, all right, scope,
Put a tube in.
7.5.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that angle. Let me change that magnum for me a little bit. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't touch the teeth. That's all. Like, that's all you got to do in your head. Don't break a tooth.
Oh, we've had that happen.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. But anyway, he ordered Vec as the paralytic and etomidate. And this is just basic rule of thumb. You never paralyze someone without sedating them
Yes.
first.
Yeah.
You always sedate before you
and then
paralyze.
paralyze.
Always, 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 always.
Yeah.
This girl, who's been a nurse forever, looked at the doctor and was like, "Which one do you want me to give first? You want me to give the Vec first?" And I'm like, what the hell?
Did everyone in the room just kind of go?
It was just me. Yeah, it was just me.
Oh.
I was like, I want to punch you in the throat right now.
Oh my god.
You've been a nurse forever and you act like you know everything, and you just ask the doctor if you want to paralyze this man
Yeah.
before you sedate them?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? How dumb are you?
Yeah.
And that may have seemed like such a minute thing, but I'm just like,
it's simple, basic.
it's simple.
Yeah.
And it's like common sense.
It's like, are you going to traumatize this person forever?
Yeah.
Are you
traumatize them, and do you want their, well, I guess in that case, her heart rate and blood pressure were tanking anyways. But you know, a normal person, if you paralyze them without sedating them first, like blood pressure can skyrocket, their vitals can go crazy out of control.
You're freaking torturing them.
Yeah.
You're freaking torturing them.
Yeah. But it's just like, and he was like, I want you to give etomidate first. Just like,
The flat affect of like, are you really asking
like,
me this shit right now?
Dumb MFer.
Why are you in this room?
yeah, exactly. He was asking me for everything.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I was like running out of the room getting everything.
Yeah.
Put in the vent orders and everything. Yeah, golly, man.
That's
and
funny.
then seeing some of these people deal with Prisma is like even more hysterical. Because it's like,
I don't know what Prisma is.
it's CRT.
Oh, okay.
Continuous ring
Okay.
replacement therapy. Yeah.
Is Prisma just the brand name?
Prisma is the brand name of the machine that we use.
Okay.
And it's, if you're not, like, I've gotten so much experience. Like, I've had, like, just being in the COVID unit, I've had probably 6 Prisma patients, but 2 of them have been Rotoprom Prisma.
Oh.
Yeah, which
Oh.
is, so one of them wasn't as bad because now, like, studies have been revealed that kinetic therapy isn't really that effective. So most people aren't even turning them. Like, you're literally just laying them, just keeping them prone the whole time.
Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, because kinetic therapy is supposed to improve your VQ ratio.
Yeah.
But now, like, most of our physicians are just keeping them prone because most studies have come out and said that just leaving a patient prone is, I guess, good enough. Yeah, I guess good enough.
It's like the
They're
COVID stuff. I guess this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Who wants to wear a bandana and say, sure, yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's literally just as simple as going up and pushing a button.
Yeah.
It's really, like, and before I
Once
had
you
that,
get it set up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not even that, but just getting the patient in the bed can take an hour.
Yeah.
A solid hour of just
Yeah.
getting them in the bed and everything. But like even like setting your settings and everything now, I mean, I pretty much taught myself how to use it just by going. I pretty much just by going in there and just messing with crap, you can teach yourself how to do just about anything.
Yeah.
Vents, everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
literally.
this happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like anytime an RT goes in the room, like if the vent's going off, I would go in there and I would watch them and I would watch exactly what they did. So now if I see that going on, I can walk in there and not have to worry about calling RT. I can just fix it myself.
Yeah. Which is the best situation of.
Yeah. I mean, I think as the nurse, you're in charge of, you're literally facilitating care for your patient.
Yeah.
Everything gets funneled through you.
Yeah.
Anytime something happens, they're supposed to go to you and say, hey, is this okay if we do this to your patient?
Yeah.
And you have to have the judgment to say yes or no.
Yes. Now what kind of scares me is at Logan, the RTs are in charge of the vents, like 100%.
Oh, you don't do anything?
Well, not in the ED. The ED is different.
Well, yeah.
But
You do what you have
upstairs,
to do in
like
the
the
ED.
nurses get in trouble for touching the vents.
That's BS. Totally BS.
I've never seen it myself. I was listening to an RT talk about it, and I was like,
I think you should be proficient in just about everything.
I completely agree with
When
you.
it comes
and-
to some stuff, like obviously, like you have your role and you have your place. Like,
Yeah.
we need respiratory therapists.
Yes.
I'm not advocating that we get rid of respiratory therapists at all.
No.
But I think as a nurse,
But if you're in charge
you
of
should
a
know
patient-
how to manage that vent.
you should know how to manage that vent, and then if you're in charge of the patient, you're in charge of the patient.
Exactly.
If not, I'm in charge of the meds, and then you're in charge of the airway.
Yeah.
Like-
exactly. It's like I'm overlooking everything.
Either I'm on the line or I'm not.
Yeah.
If you mess up, it's still on me because I'm in charge of the patient.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with setting right the work. Like I need you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
So that they're not allowed to even touch the vents?
that's the way the RT. Well, I mean,
Were they like bragging about it, saying like?
I think she had just had some issues upstairs where nurse changed some settings, and she was like, I've been here for 7 years. You don't touch my vent. Yada yada yada.
No.
And I was like,
No shot.
I don't know. But Logan is different about a lot of things like that.
Yeah, I can understand that being pediatric.
I just
But
didn't know.
What were we talking about?
I wanted to tell you about this
Oh
doctor the other day. It was a weird lac. I can't remember what it was about, but he's gonna suture this lac up, okay? So they called in whoever was in for faces, and it was like a maxillofacial surgeons.
Okay.
Okay. So faces are weird because it's like plastics, dentistry, and OMF all take a rotation for faces. It's weird, right? I've never actually dealt with OMF before. Not like this,
Yeah.
or OMFS is what they call them.
Okay.
I've never actually dealt with him like this, but he comes in and he's got his little resident with him, and they, you know, get the lidocaine and stuff. They're about to do it, and I went to go ask the mom if she needs anything and do an assessment. She goes, yeah, you know, I'm about to have to step out when they suture my kid's face up. I was like, who said that? He goes, well, the man did. And I had a female, like, my doctor was a female, okay? Mm-hmm. So it had to be the OMFS people. I went, huh, interesting, okay? Now, I am a huge believer that it is a big red flag anytime someone tries to separate a parent from a child, unless they are sedated for surgery. Unless it is a sterile surgery, you should not. No one should make you be separated from your child. Big red flag. Immediately. And we're not even sedating. We're just giving fentanyl and Versed and a little bit of lidocaine, wherever it was. I'm sure it was on the face. Mm-hmm. I forget things so quickly, but to fix it up, right? Yeah. So I go to my doctor, the female doctor. I'm like, hey, look, I'm trying to fix this real quick before the OMFS people go in there to start the procedure, and I come in there and change things up while they're starting it, right? So I talk to my doctor, and I'm like, hey, look, is there any reason why the mom's not going to be in there with the patient to get sutured up? She goes, no, I didn't say anything about that. And I'm like, okay, I think the OMFS people did that. Or I didn't even know who they were. I was like, I'm going to go address that. Okay, and she goes, well, just let me know if you need anything. I said, okay, cool. So I go in there, and you've got the boss doctor and the resident, right? Because it's July. And I'm like, hey, look, so here at Le Bonheur, I called the lady, because the dude was talking to the mom. I called her, I was like, hey, look, here at Le Bonheur, we are not going to separate a parent from their child for procedure. It's just not what we're going to do. If you need any extra help or anything, just let me know, but that's not what we do here. That's not our procedure. That's not what we do. Yeah. Well, then the dude's in the background, like, while I'm talking to her and the mom's looking at me, he's like, then no, we're not gonna let her stay in here. And I'm like, why are you trying to hide saying this? Like, I didn't like that either. Okay, so now
he was probably gonna let his resident.
Well, no, not the resident. I think because it gets better. It gets so much better because then he speaks up and he goes, so generally we don't want the parents in here for that when we use sedation and stuff. I'm like, we're not moderately sedating. He goes, well, every time.
Just light sedation.
Yeah, he goes, every time I've done this down here, I've made the parent step out, and I was like, that's not correct. It's a simple face slag. She should be able to stay in here. And I'm doing this all in front of my mom. Or not my mom, the patient's mom.
Yeah, right.
Which I hate doing. It's unprofessional. Yeah. It's awful. And he was just like, I kind of had his hands tied because I'm kind of drawing a line. It's in front of the patient. I didn't want it to be in front of the patient. He did the procedure, okay? And I'm like hot because he just basically kept pushing to kick her out. So I leave and my charge nurse is like, Logan, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing right now, but it fucking might be. Like, I kept walking by the room and making sure the mom was still at the bedside. Yeah. I was so mad.
No, I mean, that's important in pediatrics. So
it is.
If they can stay in the room, they should.
At no point should they ever be separated from the child. X-rays, anything, CT, anything, unless you're pregnant, unless the parent.
Of course,
yeah. Right? Like, we don't want to hurt another baby. But so, my charge nurse saw me, and, I'm a cool dude. I'm cool, calm, collected. My charge nurse saw me just steaming, and he goes, hey, Logan, not my charge nurse, the supervisor. The charge nurse already knows something's going down, and she's just kind of watching. Okay, my supervisor comes by, and he's like, what happened? And I told him what happened. I'm like, this motherfucker in here is doing it. I told him everything that he was doing, trying to happen, but the mom's still in there, so it's okay for now. I'm just I'm ready to just go off. Give me a reason, okay? So I told my supervisor all of that, and at this point, OMFS is done, okay? And I was sitting down charting, my supervisor's still here. He steps out and he goes, hey, look, so the reason why I don't want the parents in the room when we're suturing faces and stuff is they generally hover and critique my work. It's not a productive environment. Now, keep in mind, I have done that job. No, don't make that fucking face. No. I did his job for 5 years. I was a tech. I sutured kids' face up with parents there every single time. At no point have I ever kicked a parent out, okay? Yeah. So I told him, he said, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I've always made the parents step out. I said, well, I did that for 5 years, and I've never had to do that. Our techs generally do this, and they keep the parents in there. If they want to sit there and watch a critique, you should be able to handle your job under that pressure. And he just walked away. And my supervisor was like, okay. Because I was so fucking mad. So then he walks up to
Just
the...
be like, ma'am, I need you to step back while I'm doing this procedure.
Yeah, if they break,
I mean,
you cannot allow them to break Sterofield.
Absolutely.
They can't put their hands up where you're
But
suturing.
you should be professional enough to operate under that
yes,
pressure.
and to let involve the parent.
Yeah.
This is family-centered care for a reason. They can hold the hands. They can put a hand on the leg. They can do things for you.
Yeah.
Use them. And then he goes up to the charge nurse station. Like, that dude down there's an asshole. I was like, you don't even fucking know. So the night goes on. And people are like, Logan, you really stood up. Like, thank you for doing that. Like, pat on the back. And I was like, to me, I accomplished nothing. I won this battle, but this MFer is still going to go do that in the future.
See, that's just his own insecurities.
Yeah, no, it totally is. But like everyone's like, you did a good job. I was like, no, because he doesn't have a boss that I can report him to. He didn't break any rules.
Yeah.
But it's just
inappropriate.
Inappropriate. It's inappropriate. I was so fucking hot. I was like, ah.
Dude, we had a situation the other night, Saturday night, because that was my last night. Our charge nurse they had a patient in our APOD section of the COVID unit. I say COVID unit because I've only been back to medical ICU one time since all it started. Yeah, so I've primarily been in the COVID unit. And so they had a patient come in. He was a gunshot victim. He had a chest tube in because he had a pneumo.
Okay.
Because he got shot.
Yeah.
Caused a pneumo.
As it does.
He was just, and he was just being a dick the whole night, like the whole time. Like, cussed out his primary nurse, the charge nurse tried to go in there, and they were just trying to help him, like get him his pain meds, just trying to nurse him.
Yeah.
And he cussed her out, said that if she wasn't going to get out of his room, he was going to put his hands on her and throw her out. I'm in the B pod, not knowing any of this is going on, and they texted me and asked me if I would come up there to help with this patient. And I saw them, I ended up coming up there, and they had gotten one of the other male nurses before I had a chance to come up there. And I was just kind of standing there, and our charge nurse took his call light out of the room because he would just hit the call light and cuss him out over the speakerphone. She was like, I'm taking this out, and until you can learn to be respectful to us and your primary nurse, you're not going to be able to call us for anything.
Okay.
And we are not going to give you any more Dilaudid.
Okay.
Unless you can learn to be respectful. She told him that. She charted like how his behavior was. She charted that she took his call light out for the reasons that she named.
Yeah.
Totally appropriate. Like he was making it unbearable to take care of him.
But at a certain point, you have to get the cops involved.
And it was about to come to that.
Yeah.
Because it's like at some point, like
we're not going to get abused.
No.
We're
it's
not.
like we
we're
can
not
only
paid to
do
be
what we
abused.
can do.
Yeah, it's simple as that.
This isn't like a socialist country. Like you're not going to be able to force us to do anything.
Yeah.
Like if this is not a productive environment, then you can leave AMA and get your services somewhere else.
Yeah.
Go screw off. Like if you're gonna treat us like that.
If you're gonna try to abuse us,
exactly.
Legitimately, it'd be like that's what I don't get about like nurses letting shit like that slide. Obviously, that's not what happened here.
No.
But you see it happen with other instances.
And they just kind of put up with it. It's like
it's fucking abuse.
No.
I want to call the cops
BS,
on your
dude.
ass.
Like, yeah. It's like, well, we're trying to take care of you and get you better and get you back out on the streets. Like, let us take care of you. And if not, then we're not. And you can go back out there and you can die on the streets, man. Like, you got to let people take care of you.
Yeah.
Period. It's as simple as that. So he called his mom. He's a 24-year-old. Called his mom, told his mom that they weren't giving him any pain meds. The charge nurse, that they unplugged his call light and wouldn't let him call out for pain meds and stuff like that. So his mom called up here, and at first our charge nurse handled it phenomenally. She calmly
talked to the mom.
She kept her cool the whole time, and she just calmly explained what was going on. So supposedly the guy's chest tube should have been replaced like a day ago. It stopped fluctuating, so that they just need to exchange it for a new one.
Okay.
And then he was mad about that, wondering why they're going to take his chest tube out, if they're going to do this. But every time they tried to go in there and explain why they were going to replace his chest tube and they would have to do another procedure on him, he just got like belligerent and just started going off. And then again, this is the A pod, and he was positive. So he was going to have to go to the B pod, and so they were talking about transporting him and moving into the B section or the positive section, whatever. It's B and C it's positive. And so, and you know, he thought that was inconvenient. He didn't want to move, but it's like, dude, like, this is what we do. This is the COVID unit. When you're positive, you go to the positive section. It doesn't matter if it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 in the morning. Like, when you pop positive and we get your result back, you got to go back. Yeah, like, period. That's how this works. And that's how we protect our patients. Like, and so his mom was calling up here saying, like, why you're going to move him and all this stuff. And our charge nurse just calmly explained everything to her, like, super professional about it. Like, I was really
like better than like you could even comprehend to do.
Yeah. I was just like, okay, that was like, good job, Allie.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And totally diffused the situation with the mom, at least. And
that's impressive.
Yeah, and she was just like, look, and I'm just going to be honest with you, he is not letting us take care of it. He keeps cussing us out every time we go into the room.
Yeah.
Like, we can't have that. Every time he'd hit the call light, he would cuss us out over the call, over his little call, over his, like, you know, his little call light in the room. And so, and I told him plainly that I'm taking it out, and until he learns to be respectful, he's not going to get the call light back, and he can't call us for anything. Like, she calmly explained everything to her, and finally, after like a 15-minute conversation, the mom like saw that her son was being a dick, and she, I guess later on in the night he had gotten better, so I guess she called him. But what pissed me off, dude, was that the doctor came by. Allie, our charge nurse, and the primary nurse, who this patient has cussed out the whole night, and she's like has totally felt uncomfortable even going in his room because he's threatened to assault them at one point, and they were to the verge of getting security involved on him. They called the doctor to have her come and see this patient because they're like, look, like, he's just being belligerent. He's not letting us do anything with him. Like, we think you should come and assess him and just see if you can talk to him. That's the only reason the doctor came, is because they called her. She comes down here and totally sides with the patient. To his face, tells him that what the nursing staff has done to him was inappropriate and it was unprofessional. But like, they had his blinds closed to his room so that he couldn't see out, because he was, every time he'd see someone, he was just going off and going crazy. And the doctor, they said that whenever the doctor walked by, they were like, well, I don't know how your nurse is able to monitor you if your blinds are closed. And Allie was like, we have his vitals pulled up on this monitor out here, you dumbass. His vitals are on this giant TV.
Was this a new one? Was this one of the new doctors in July?
I don't know. She wasn't a resident or a fellow. She was an actual, like, I think she was a fellow.
One of the hospitalists?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, dude.
How?
And it pissed me off, dude. Like, I was like, I really wish she was still here, because I was about to say something to her, because like, that is so unprofessional. So unprofessional. And the doctor was mad that they took his call light out. They said that was unprofessional and that was unsafe for the patient. And it's like, you are not here. Yeah. You are here because we called you here to come assess this patient. You're only here because we're doing our job.
Yeah.
And you have no idea how this unit works. She was like, why are y'all going to move him? That's just totally inconvenient for him. And it's like, this is the COVID unit, you dumbass. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter what's convenient for you or the patient. What matters is what's safe.
Yeah.
It's not safe to have a positive with potentially negative patients.
Yeah.
That's how this unit works.
That is what, there's a task force in place to manage this shit.
What is wrong?
Pandemic. That's, sometimes I just want to scream that. I just want to scream it.
Oh my gosh, dude! But it's like, you literally just got here and you've been here for 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And you're just siding with the patient to his face, saying that, you know, what they did was wrong and they need to do better. And it's just like, what the hell is wrong with you? We're the ones that care for these patients. You don't. You write orders off in a back room, not even seeing these people. We're there 24/7, monitoring them, putting in our own orders, asking for orders. Like, dude, I've seen patients, I pretty much know what to order for all of them. And all I got to do is text the ICU fellow or the Mid-South or whatever and be like, hey, you care if I put this in? And usually, if I can rationalize it, they'll let me put it in. Because they know that, like, they know that we know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, we had a patient and there was like textbook SVT, textbook. Her rate was getting into the 200s, and I told the nurse, I was like,
I'm sorry,
you need that.
We're talking about adults. I was like, I mean, it's only 200.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 200 is still SVT for us, but like.
Yeah. Well, this is like textbook SVT.
Perfect.
It's like, hey, right? And me and you remember Justin? He tutored us in combat.
Oh, Justin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Combat medic.
me and him, like we were walking by, and he glanced at the monitor, and he was like, "Whoa, I wonder if that's real." And I looked up, and I was like, "Whoa!" So me and him both walked into the room, and I felt her pulse. I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely real, Justin." Like her pulse is just like just pounding away.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, we need to get an EKG
Can we get some
on this
data
lady."
card? Oh, you're gonna do the.
We need to do EKG and like IV metoprolol. Is usually like
Really?
Yeah, first line.
'Cause
Depends if their pressure can take it. You usually would give IV metoprolol.
Dude.
And then obviously like
Really?
you check their electrolytes. Like their electrolytes could be low.
Dude,
But-
immediately. So we hook them up to the 12 lead, hit record, do the Adena card.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that doesn't work. We're converting them. We don't. Like,
Well, if they don't respond to it, eventually you would have to convert them. Yeah.
but you
like,
start with metoprolol IV.
Sometimes it depends on the case, but yeah, sometimes
That
it's
blows
like,
my mind.
Yeah, IV metoprolol, and that ended up
Why?
like I've seen cases you give a dose of IV metoprolol if their pressure can take it.
Yeah.
It doesn't act on blood pressure like labetalol does.
Yeah.
Like labetalol mainly affects blood pressure, doesn't really affect heart rate.
Yeah. What?
But like-
Metoprolol is like a beta blocker.
Yeah, both of them are beta blockers.
Yeah.
But one has more alpha properties.
Okay.
I think I don't know. I think metoprolol has more alpha properties, so it affects the
The
heart rate
heart
more.
more.
Yeah, but that's what you like. And sometimes like a control, if people have like a history of SVTs, they'll either be on like a PO amio or they'll just take like PO metoprolol, and it keeps them converted, or it keeps them from going into SVTs. Yeah. Yeah. So she ended up giving IV metoprolol, and she converted out of it like an hour later, totally fine. And then they put her on.
So she was non-symptomatic. She just had the rate, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she started getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like she started to get some, but her blood
But, like,
pressure was
SATs
still
and
fine.
everything
Yeah,
was
SATs
great.
were fine, blood pressure was fine.
Okay.
Gave her some IV metoprolol. Still SATs were fine. She ended up converting out.
Okay.
And then they put her on like some PO metoprolol.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what we do for SVT? Like, this is an old doctor move. It's the first thing they come to SVT, ice to the face, blow on the syringe. Old doctor move. They pick the kid up by the ankles and hold him there, upside down,
Really?
because it activates the vagus nerve.
Okay.
Like if
that
if
makes
it's one of
sense.
the older
Yeah,
physicians,
we can't do that.
No. They'll be like someone's going to get ice. It's usually a she. She goes, all right, grab by the ankles, hold there for a few minutes, and it gets hooked up upside down.
Just let them dangle.
And legitimately, sometimes it converts.
That's so wild.
It's an old physician move.
And that's
it's an
the
old
thing in
physician move.
pediatrics. Like you can obviously get away with that.
But it
Adults,
works.
Yeah, we couldn't do that.
Yeah, right?
Couldn't do that at all.
Because how do you explain to a child blow on the syringe or bear down like you have to poop?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You throw ice on their face and you hold them upside down. it's like weird torture, but it converts them out.
Interesting.
Yeah, it like I've seen that work. I haven't really seen Adena card work except a few times.
Yeah.
Only when like cardiology's at the bedside, because you do 6, 12, 12 now. It used to be 6, 6, 12. Well, so for kids, it is. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't actually know and I don't want to lie, right? But whatever it is per kilo, you do that. You do the first dose, then double. I've seen cardiology do like instead of double, do like 5 times the amount, 10 times the amount.
Oh well.
Because maybe it's not getting to the heart.
Specialty.
That's their specialty. Because it metabolizes so quickly in the vein.
Yeah.
Why not? And you're giving such small amounts. It's
Yeah.
still not getting up to the 12 milligrams.
True. Yeah.
Right? So I've seen it work twice like that. Where they just say, give 8 milligrams to like a tiny baby, and you're like, okay.
Oh, Jesus. And it converts them out.
And then it
You're
converts
like,
out.
"Oh,
You're
all
like,
right."
wow, why don't we do this all the time?
Yeah, there are some things where you're like, why isn't this just standard?
Yeah.
You know what
why
I'm
can't
saying?
we give a ton?
I've seen IV metoprolol work a number of times to convert someone out.
That really does
But
blow my
again,
mind.
I say if
They're
their
non-sym-
pressure can
yes.
tell, if systolic
They're
above 90,
they're non-symptomatic.
Yeah.
Everything's still
Yeah,
stable.
if they're symptomatic and their blood pressure if they're starting to get hemodynamically unstable, then yeah, they just need to be cardioverted.
Do you even do an card if they're hemodynamically unstable?
No.
Really? So
I
we
don't think
still
so.
do. We still
I
do.
don't think so.
Like
I've never like.
okay, let me phrase that. If their pressure's like, systolic greater than 90 in adults is what is like the lowest acceptable, right? So us
or like a
it's,
map of 65.
or map of
It's
65.
like because you can have a lower systolic, but as long as your
The
map
doc-
is maintained at 65, it's
You're good.
fine. Yeah.
So for kids, it's 70 systolic plus 2 for however old they are. So you're talking about like 74 systolic for 2-year-old is completely acceptable.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and it's way lower than that for the NICUs, like the neonates. So
I mean, which makes sense.
Right.
And then to compensate, their heart rate will be higher.
Yes. So I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't either. I'm still wondering. I'm like, okay, yeah, like thanks for that.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy what actually happens.
Yeah.
Oh, we're saying like
and
even if they're symptomatic,
I've only seen us cardiovert one time.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because usually like in the ICU, it's called like that. You know? Yes. I mean, well, we're pretty much jumping on top of it.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. I mean, when that heart rate gets to 160 and it's sustained, yeah, for sure. We're like, hey, you want to? Their pressure could take it. You want me to just go ahead and give some IV metoprolol, see if it converts them out?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then they might need a loading dose of amnio, which is like 150 milliliter loading dose.
Yeah.
And then you start them on a 360 bag of amnio.
Yeah. Interesting. That's so different. I'll tell you the textbook how it comes in for us. A nurse, a tech, someone out in triage goes, "Oh shit, that's a high heart rate," and it rushes them back. That is exactly how it happens almost every time. Right. And then after that, it's like they might convert back into it. Or, you know how it goes. Yeah. It's a little different after that. But that is the textbook. Shit.
Well, what's so annoying is that I don't know who all will see this video.
Yeah,
but
don't use any names.
Some of our patients, not in the ICU, so
Okay.
they're not with any of our ICU teams or ICU docs. They're under another service of care. And they have other doctors over them.
Somewhere in some hospital
in the night
in La La Land.
In like maybe Texas or something.
All right.
Somewhere.
Down in Tejas, what happens?
They've got these people that are covering for them at night that don't want to do absolutely anything for them.
Okay.
Unless they're dying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like this patient.
So you're all on your own basically.
For some patients under different services, yes.
In
You're
Tejas.
In Tejas, maybe. They don't want to do anything. Like, we'll put things off for hours. Like this patient who's in SVTs, it's like, we pretty much, like, me, like I was telling Justin, I was like, she really, like, we can do an EKG on her, but, I mean, just looking at her leads on her monitor, it's like, that's textbook SVT.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have a history of heart disease or anything, so, I mean, that EKG is going to show textbooks SVTs. Like, the pressure can take it, we need to just go and give her some IV metoprolol. If that doesn't work, maybe we can try some amnio or something like that. Her potassium was low. She's getting potassium right now. But it was like 3.1.
Wasn't that
nothing
crazy
too crazy that's going to cause some like dangerous arrhythmias.
You're not exactly about the bolus of potassium in there.
You want to kill someone?
Hey,
do
that actually came up in a code one time. We were doing a code and someone was like,
why don't we just push some potassium?
Yeah, the potassium's low.
You want to get the body bag ready?
No, legit. On the iStat, they were like, the potassium's low. Let's just bolus them in.
Oh my god.
And everyone was like,
oh Jesus.
Like, I've never heard a room get that quiet that quickly. Everyone was like,
was this a resident?
It was, was it a nurse? I was like, this was like
either
3 or 4 years ago.
And honestly, dude, that could have been just like a slip up. And they caught themselves and were like, oh, that's dumb as shit.
But everyone in the room went,
we're gonna kill him.
Because H's and T's, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I get it. But then everyone in the room was just like, isn't that what they do in death row?
Don't they mix that with something else and bolus them?
Yeah, like some pentafol or something. I Names I don't know the words of.
Yeah, just go and get morphine ready so we can keep them comfortable. Yeah.
We want about 10 milligrams. Yeah. Slam it.
Just start putting insulin under their toenails while they're dosing them.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's so cold. It's really clammy all of a sudden.
Who knew?
But yeah, dude, like it took her like 2 hours to order anything, and like I went in there and like set up the EKG because what we do it like in the COVID unit we have to do everything ourselves like EKG. And honestly, I'm glad because like before that I didn't even know how to set someone up on an EKG. Okay. Seriously. And like
it's just something you don't do.
Yeah, it's just something we didn't do in their normal ICU. So, but now it's just
it's your everyday life.
Yeah. So like it's cool. Like we don't have to wait for EKG. I can just do it myself and have it done right then. And so what we did, and I was like, it's gonna show SVT. what do you know, textbook SVT, and I was like, there you go, put it in the chart, let them
Do
know.
you have to get a 12 lead when you've got a 3 lead that shows SVT?
Yes.
Why?
It's just what they want. It's what they want. Now, if
You're not giving a Dana card or converting, I don't see a reason to get the 12 lead.
it's really it's what they want.
That's so
every time.
They won't treat
order
it.
EKG.
They want that. So like for
And then it still won't treat it for like an hour, and you're like, dude, like,
let's
come
go.
on.
That's
Come on.
crazy to me
Or
because
else
like
this patient's gonna be in ICU.
so we see SVT on a 3 lead. We only get the 12 lead so that we record a paper copy of when they convert or when we give a
Oh no, yeah, no. They want it to. They just want it to like to show that they were an actual SVT. It's like you can like we record everything on the monitor. You can come up here and I can print your string off from the monitor
From, like,
the
any
3
set
lead.
time?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we can go back.
Really?
Yeah, with our cardiac monitors.
We can't do that.
Really?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
That doesn't even make sense.
It makes no sense.
If they're being hemodynamic, like on the monitor, you can't go back and record.
I'm
it?
sure someone can, but it's not available to us.
Really?
That's why we have the 12 lead to record it
Oh.
when we convert.
Yeah, I guess so.
So like, you know how like you've got
Yeah.
all the vitals at the nurse's station?
Yeah.
We've got a heart rate, maybe a SpO2 at the charge nurse desk,
Oh.
not at like each individual area.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh yeah, so like
I think every room should have hemodynamic monitoring.
yeah, at
For
your
sure.
at your charting
Especially
station.
the ED, because anything could happen like that.
Yeah,
like
there's
you really
been,
need to stay on top.
especially in respiratory season where kids just stop breathing. Like that's happened multiple
Yeah.
times that I know of.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the kids, really junky, having a hard time to breathe, and they come into
Happens
us,
on med surg floors all the time.
right? So they come into us, and it's like, well, they're not
I
working
did my
hard.
one assessment at 8.
Yeah.
They were fine then.
And it's like what 2:00 did.
Yeah.
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 It's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Well, on the bright side, they have an anoxic brain injury now, and they don't know what the hell is going on.
we're going to hell in a handbasket.
It's true though, man. Like,
I'm just glad I don't work in those environments,
dude, like just about all the Emory House calls we get is because of that. Is people just not, and the thing is like, you get some of these ICU nurses that are just total D-bags, and they're like, oh, stupid med-surg nurses, they're not doing their job, and it's like, I mean, they've got 8 patients, bro. They've got 8 or 9 patients at university, because university they treat you like crap. I'm like, can you just imagine for a second? I mean, obviously they're not critical. They're not on a bunch of drips. They're not nearly as critical as our patients. Granted,
Yeah.
they're not using like any of the critical thinking skills. But just from a time management sake, think about having 8 patients.
yeah. And how can you do that safely?
You're having to chart on 8 patients. You're having to give meds. Just giving meds to 8 patients would be a pain in my butthole, dude. I would never want to give. I would never want to.
That's
pass
why
meds on
that
many people.
right there is what I have in my head, being scared to go into the COVID unit because I'm like 8
No, it's not like that.
eight patients.
It's
with
not like that.
meds.
And usually they keep their meds at a 10 and 6 schedule to limit your exposure in the room.
Oh,
Yeah,
that actually
it's
sounds
it's
really
so
nice.
nice, dude.
That actually sounds really
Yeah,
nice.
because like when I went from MI to there, I'm like, dude, this is how we need to do it all the time, because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense having meds every 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like if they're at home, they're not taking meds every 2
No.
hours. Why are we giving them meds every 2 hours?
It's not logical.
No, it doesn't make sense. I mean, you can't rationalize. We have to give them like this antibiotic has to be scheduled at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Especially because I mean, like patients have to rest. That's part of your healing process.
Yes.
And if we're going in there every 2 hours and waking these people up, and they're basically awake all night, like
Yeah.
that's ICU. That's how you get ICU delirium. So yeah, we should probably
that's
think about
exactly
this a
it.
little bit more.
I know this COVID thing's like really bad, but I hope that all these things that we're going through, where we're changing processes so quickly,
Yeah.
will set us up for better care in the future.
For sure, I think it will. Because there's no other option, because like this has exposed so many of our weaknesses
Oh my
in
God.
the healthcare system.
Yeah.
And like people, America, whatever, America this, America that, but we have good healthcare here.
We do.
We do, and we have the freedom that you can get whatever healthcare you need.
Yes.
It might be more expensive, and that's an issue with not having it being not as free of a system as it needs to be.
Well, also the research.
It's very weird.
So
Like there's certain aspects of it that's over-regulated.
Yes.
And there's certain aspects of it that is like not regulated enough.
yes.
And so in some of those areas where it's over-regulated, it's like maybe we need to loosen the reins a little bit. and allow for more opportunity.
Maybe.
To a degree, because when you do lose, when you have a little bit less regulation, I'm not saying you let companies become monopolies.
Yeah.
But if you have like it regulated so much where it's like you only get this service from one company, like yeah, it's going to be outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
So when competition comes in play, that's what lowers prices.
You're right.
So, but it's like a fine line.
There's like
so
a million reasons why healthcare is more expensive.
Yeah.
One of the things that stood out to me was that all the research, all the drugs that get researched here, other countries, like third world countries, get that research for free. That's why all these foreign doctors speak English, because they have to read our textbooks, or English textbooks. So it's like North America, including Canada, and then Europe as well.
The thing is that these people don't realize like these companies are going to get paid somehow.
Yeah.
They're just getting paid off our backs.
All, not theirs.
No.
That's why they've got, they're like a generation behind on the healthcare that they get, but they got it for cheap secondhand. That's why our shit's so much more expensive than other countries.
I mean, we're essentially paying for the services that other countries are getting for free. Not essentially, we are.
Yeah,
I mean, we are.
We're paying for the technology.
Yeah.
We get it first.
No. And that's very, like, people can't, like, if someone was trying to argue that, it's like, it's pretty well
It's pretty evident.
researched.
It's just
like,
look at why do foreign doctors speak English? Why can they read English? It's because that's what the
why are
textbooks
drugs
are.
cheaper in other countries? It's because they're
not
making
doing-
all their money off us.
They're not doing they didn't have to dump millions of dollars into being able to research and make sure it's safe.
And to some degree, it's like that makes sense because we like the wealth in this country is like so far beyond anyone else. Mostly everyone else. I mean, when you think of
middle of the road, median income
is like we're rich compared to like 95% of the other.
Fresh water, electricity. I got a stove.
We don't have
bathroom.
to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, just that in and of itself makes you wealthy compared to anyone else.
Yes.
And you're free. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Like
no one's making us go to work. No one's making us do anything.
Yeah. So I mean, to some degree, I get.
There's food at the grocery stores.
Like some of the charity work, but in other parts, you're like, cut us a break, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there are people here that, I mean, that are just up to their eyeballs in debt because they can't pay for all their medications. Which, if you lived a healthier lifestyle,
maybe you wouldn't have all these
maybe
issues.
you wouldn't have the issues in the first place. But
it is what it is.
We're still here.
Yeah.
We still find ourselves in these situations.
I agree.
I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't even know anymore.
We got off.
Yeah. I just feel passionate about, like, our healthcare systems are really good. It can be better.
It could be better. Everything could be better.
But
yeah. But I mean, everyone talks about like the socialized medicine in Canada. Well, what happens when you can't get a heart transplant there? You come to America because it's available. Whereas a lot of these necessary systems up there aren't available because their system is being flooded. I mean, and in Canada theirs works a little bit better than in other countries. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's not totally the case there. But in most cases, like when you've got which I agree in some areas with socialized medicine, like, you know, maybe if we did pay more in taxes, we'd have some of these services for free. There's a part of me that likes that and I want to get on board with that, but then the other part of me is like, no, the federal government has like screwed us over more. Like, why am I going to give them more of my money so they can continue to screw us over?
Why give them more power?
Exactly. So it's like,
I just don't like that. I don't like my health insurance tied to my job. That to me is the definition of monopoly. Your job has so much power over you because your health insurance is dependent on them.
Yeah.
I think
it should
the
be
biggest
cheaper
downfall.
for you to get
Privatized,
yes. Yeah. And the only way to do that is if it was more privatized.
Yeah.
But because it's so heavily regulated, you can't even begin to afford getting health insurance without going through your place of employment.
I actually called about it because, you know, I was like looking to go PRN and stuff, and I called this service.
Make you throw up.
No, this is what happened. I called the service and I was like, hey, I want to get my own insurance. I go, well, do you have insurance now? Or no, I told them why I wanted my own insurance. They said, do you have a job? I said, yeah, I work for a hospital. And they're like, well, don't you have
like,
your
what
own
the hell are you
insurance?
doing?
I was like, well, yeah, I have my own insurance, but I don't want my health insurance to be tied to my job. And they go, you don't want your own private side. You don't. They said you don't want your own private insurance, and then hung up on me. But that's it. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They didn't even tell me how much it cost. They didn't tell me anything about it. They just said, They just said, you don't want this. Click. If that doesn't say something, I don't know what will.
Because they knew that once they told you everything, you would have declined it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, it's ungodly.
Yeah.
It's ungodly.
I'm just glad that. I mean, is Han on your health insurance?
So we're waiting till currently, since we just got married, we're still on our parents' insurance.
Okay.
So after I turn 25, I'm gonna get on Methodist insurance.
Okay. So right now, I think I'm paying $100 or $50 a paycheck.
Which is, it's not bad.
To me, it's
For,
just.
I mean, for comprehensive insurance, like
It's for like if I get in a bad wreck, it will not break me in the bank if I live. Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, that's the only reason I when I get my own health insurance, because eventually I really do want to not be on anyone else's like job insurance.
yeah.
I want the Hail Mary one where like my deductible is like $10,000, but they cover everything past that. Like my yearly limit is $10,000, and then if I have like a heart attack and it calls, I get ICU'd and my bill's like $500,000.
Yeah.
I pay $10,000, and then I'm out of everything else.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my goal one day.
Yeah. And see, and that's another reason why it's like I don't understand why organizations like Methodist don't fight harder to have better staffing. Because when you don't have these med-surg floors staffed appropriately, you get Emory House calls. Emory House, so that's how you get it, is people not being appropriately monitored and then not catching things. Like, dude, I cannot tell you how many Emory House calls have been due to aspiration.
Seriously?
Them just aspirating on their food, bro, and then they end up getting coded because someone comes in an hour later and grandma's like blue because she aspirated on her effing noodles.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like why?
This is not.
It's like this is not, and then
It's not sustainable.
And
We can't
the
keep
reason
doing
why I
this.
say an organization like Methodist is because Methodist goes out of their way to try and pay for some of the expenses of these people who can't pay.
Yeah.
Like for families that get stuck with these outrageous bills, it's like Methodist actually works with these families a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in the inner city. Like,
They
that's
give away
their
a
population.
lot of free healthcare.
So it's like, hey, you already know you're going to be footing the bill on a lot of this stuff because it's hospital acquired.
Yep.
They didn't have this before. They got it now because you guys are not willing to staff these floors appropriately. So it's like, oh, that's where we were. Is Emory House calls.
Yeah.
And like ICU nurses being douchebags to floor nurses. But
Hey, ICU nurse.
and I get where these people are coming from because some of the people I work with, it's like, can you just try and see it from another person's perspective
Just
for a
once.
second?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, or they're just they get so outrageously upset at the administration because they have to give up a patient and take another one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I've had to do that 5 times since I've been in the COVID unit. Like, you just suck it up and you bend over and you take it. It's okay.
That's all it is.
Like,
you get paid the same.
you're gonna get paid, man.
Just
Like,
embrace the suck. That's what one of the fire department lieutenants told me.
Suck.
Everything's gonna suck eventually.
Yeah.
Embrace the suck, because if you don't embrace the suck, it's gonna suck.
And then you're just miserable.
And then you're just miserable.
Yeah.
Then you should embrace the
Like-
suck, man.
And like, to me, I like to see it as like, these things are making me a better nurse.
Yeah.
And they are. Like, dude, I've learned more from mistakes that I've made or from really, really sick, super sick, difficult cases
Mhm.
than I ever have when it was just like, when I had like 2 walkie-talkies or 3 walkie-talkies or 2 vented patients and I'm basically just turn water feed.
Wait.
Like,
Walkie-talkie, is that what you call like patients that can walk and talk?
yeah. Call them walkie-talkies. You never heard that? That's like an old nursing term, dude.
I deal with babies.
Oh yeah.
Our messed up
for sure.
up kids we call chicken wings. Because usually when they're genetically messed up, they got like a little
chicken wings.
walkie-talkies.
So yeah, they're walkie-talkies.
What was the other one? Roll and feed? Feed and
Turn
breed?
water feed.
Turn water feed.
Yep. Because you turn them,
You water
give
'em?
them fluids, and you feed them. That's it. That's all you're doing. I hate having cases like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
It's kind of depressing too.
yeah. It's like, why am I doing? And most of those cases are people that are from the nursing homes.
Yeah.
And they have an anoxic injury anyways, or they had a stroke a long time ago. They're not even cognitively aware anymore. You're like, why would I want this? Like,
Yeah.
no. If I wanted all of this, I would go to Methodist North, but I didn't go there. I came to university.
Yeah.
Give me some sick people. You know
Like
what I'm saying?
legit sick.
Yeah,
people.
like legit sick people, because that's where I'm going to learn the most.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I love having prison patients. They're just super sick, because it's like, I know how to troubleshoot it now. If I have to, like, because, you know, it's a whole process, starting another set, troubleshooting the access, like, all that good stuff. But, like, I've had enough now where it's like, I know how to do all that, and I can do it all pretty quickly. And I can do it, I've gotten so much experience with it, I can teach it to other people.
Wow.
Like, I'm okay. Like, give me those cases.
And this is why we're about to be making like $60 an hour for one shift a week. One shift.
Yeah. Hey. Well, dude, but you're paying these travelers that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you offer this to us?
Yeah.
Why
That
wouldn't you
makes
even
sense.
try?
Why wouldn't
to
you
offer
try to do it? I wish they would do it for all the shifts, to be honest with you. It's just
So annoying.
another way to like exploit the nursing staff even more.
Well, they know that these people are temporary,
yeah.
but we're the permanent staff. So if they offered it to us, they would be obliged to continuously offer it.
Yeah.
Whereas that's travel nursing.
They come and
that's-
go.
Yeah, they come and go, and it's known.
Yeah.
You know.
They don't know the area. They're not as
Yeah.
efficient.
But see, that's also why hospitals aren't keeping nurses anymore, because they don't treat their employees right.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean,
Well, it's some pretty rough conditions, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
just you really
work
do
your
get
butt
screwed.
off,
You
dude.
do.
And it's like, you mean to tell me?
It's not just you work your butt off. You work your butt off, and other people's lives depend on whether you can do it well or not.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets me. It's not just physically draining, because we both had physical jobs before. We've both done like HVAC, lawn care.
Yeah.
Like really,
Sure.
really crappy, hot, itchy, sweaty, dirty
But
jobs.
The responsibility level is like
There.
way
Yeah.
down here, almost at the bottom. Whereas in the
Oh
line of
God,
work we're in now,
I wasted a yard of mulch.
yeah.
Oh,
my
God.
I broke a bag of concrete.
Oh, fuck.
I'll clean it up.
I rutted up your yard. I gotta go over there and put some dirt on it.
Yeah.
The same mistake, someone lost a toe. Someone's dead.
Yeah. Responsibility level
Way up there.
the
That
hell up
honestly
here.
is the biggest difference. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like, there were dude, when I was working in lumber building, I did that for the whole time I was in nursing school.
Yeah.
Dude, I worked my butt off there, man, like sweating my balls off
Yeah.
for all of my
Chump
shifts.
change.
Yeah, for chump change.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Physically, it was more work. But man, dude, I've had some shifts at Methodist, and I'm like, damn, I'd go back to Lowe's in a heartbeat.
Dude, sometimes I think I'm like,
I'd go
remember
back
when-
to slinging concrete
Dude,
and lumber like that.
Easily.
Yeah.
Remember
Cutting
when
grass.
life was only about dead chicken? God, those were the good days. When I was at Chick-fil-A. Nothing's gonna die on you. It's already
Yeah.
dead. And now if I have a batch of chicken breasts that doesn't get cooked all the way through, just throw them in for another
I mean,
minute.
at Lowe's, what's the worst that can happen? A
You drop
customer
a
gets
pallet?
mad at you
I don't know.
because you were backed up helping 5 others, and it's
Get
like,
mad.
who cares?
Get mad.
Oh, I gotta
don't give
unload a
fuck.
truck.
Oh shit.
At least no one died.
Yeah, right? That was some days.
Yeah.
But it is rewarding. So like the chick
Oh,
that
dude,
like
it's super rewarding.
the chick that I advocated to like stay with her kid with the doctor
Mhm.
to like suture up the face. After everything was done and I was getting ready to discharge him home, go in there and I was like, hey look, so about earlier I didn't really want to do all of that in front of you. I tried to catch him before he came in here because it's inappropriate to be separated from a child. I'm sorry that I had to do all of that in front of you. And
That's so professional, man.
and she goes,
so
and she
professional.
look, and then she goes, I actually really appreciate you doing that. I was uncomfortable leaving my child.
Yeah.
And I was like,
For sure.
I was like, if she had told me that, because when I was doing all this, she's like, oh, I'm cool with it. Oh, I'm cool with it. If she had said at one
No.
point that I'm not cool with it, I would have been on another level.
Yeah.
Like I was already like trying to like not come apart on this person.
Control yourself.
Yeah, and I don't, like I said, I don't get mad, but like I was already on almost about to like have a come apart on this dude.
Yeah.
If she had given me any kind of inclination that she wanted to stay in the room, oh dude, it would have been bad. So I'm glad she didn't on one hand, but on the other hand, if she had done it, it would have been like the green light to like
That
just,
I can just like,
yeah.
like, total deep.
Yeah,
like,
seriously,
yeah.
seriously. But she told me that, and that made me feel really good. I was like, you know,
No,
this,
dude,
this,
you should
this
feel
is why
good,
we
man.
do
You were
this.
being a patient's advocate. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously. Sure.
If you just do your jobs, I don't have to do extra work.
Yeah.
No. Great, stop.
Yeah. Oh, dude, one night I worked, I had, because, the COVID unit is like, if you don't legitimately suspect someone is a PUI,
All right.
do not send
Person
them.
under interest.
Person under investigation.
Okay.
So don't send them here. Like, if you're just going to screen them, just to screen them, that's
Yeah,
fine. But
just 'cause
send
you're
them
admitting to the
somewhere else.
hospital?
Yeah. But they don't need to come here, because there was a point in time where they were literally sending everyone to, like, we're basically like the next stop from the ED.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right,
This is just the next.
ship them out, send them to the COVID unit.
Yeah.
And dude, and like our ED, man, it's like our ED nurses are great on one hand, but like since all this stuff has been going on, there's only been a few of them that has actually done what they were supposed to do, like gotten labs drawn, maybe got an IV. That's it. Honestly, that's all you really need to do.
Yeah.
Do a basic assessment, get access,
That's
get
it.
labs.
Okay.
If they need a Foley, put a Foley in. And then give them to us. I don't care. Even if they're dirty, I don't care. Like, I'll clean them up. I just don't want to have to do. I just don't want to have to do your legwork when you get
Yeah.
into me. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
But dude, man, like these patients.
It's like getting a shift
coming
report
up,
from someone that
like,
still has
if they've
like
got,
8 things to be done.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like if they've got
It's
two
shitty
lines,
nursing.
if they've got 2 lines, and they've come to from the ED. I've come to the point now. Like if I don't know the person I'm getting a report from, I can almost go and be like, that line's not going to work at all.
Why?
I'm gonna have to go. It's like they just throw it in just to say they have a line in. They don't troubleshoot it. They don't flush it, and they just ship them out.
Yeah. Do they chart it that it works?
They chart it. It works. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
And it's like, oh, just must have blown. It's like they've been here for 2 hours, you dick. Like it didn't blow in 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
I'm being serious.
You know, I've never.
Dead serious.
Now, all right. So like the bad.
And, I
no,
don't.
hold on.
For anyone that works in the university ED that's going to see this video,
Which is no one, because
maybe not anyone.
maybe
But in
like
case it
3
is,
years. Maybe
there's
like
only
3
been a-
years.
Like I was impressed with Raimi. Raimi brought a patient up. She did everything for him.
Yeah.
They had access. She had their lines drawn. She had their labs drawn. It's
Yeah.
like, this is just basic. Thank you. Like,
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. That's it.
Yeah.
But
No.
it's like,
I will say the bad nurse in me goes, I've never even thought about just sticking some with IV and saying it works. I'm like, that's kind of ingenious.
I mean, yeah. I mean, especially if you
really,
know.
if
you
you're a
know they're
lazy
going
sack of
to-
crap,
Yep.
and you know they're going somewhere, and you're about to ship them out, and they don't have a line,
Yeah.
and you have to have a line, why would you? I mean, if I'm going to be a bad nurse,
Yeah,
that's a great
if
way
I'm
to be a bad
super
nurse.
lazy, yeah.
That's a great way
Just
to be a bad
stick
nurse.
it in there, dress it,
I've never even heard of people doing
tape
that.
it up, make it look good.
God.
You gotta flush it, and it's just like,
Dude, the adult world is so different, man. I think you would really love pediatrics,
balloons
dude.
out. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
let me go get the ultrasound.
So, are you ultrasound the lines in?
yeah, I am. Yeah.
Is it fun?
I've been able to put in 5.
That's awesome. That's
I know.
awesome. I've been teaching someone lately, and I'm having trouble verbalizing what I want them to do with their hands and stuff because
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to communicate it. It really is. Like she's great. She's doing really good, but she's also been a nurse for 15 years. So
Yeah.
her really good on ultrasound in her head is really bad because she's used to just being able to just pow
Just
pow
do
pow
crap, yeah.
pow 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 like she was in like a full arrest the other day and she was like basically running the thing. Like
dude, that's legit.
with
Yeah.
with everyone in the room, like
I need to get better at that.
oh
That's
my
like-
god, she
that's
was
a skill that
calling
I
out
really
the
need to
times,
do.
doing everything,
I really
time for
need to get
this, time
better
for
at
that, while she's charting everything.
Oh, dude.
I was just like, God, Jen,
Jesus, she's doing like 3 jobs at once.
dude, she is so amazing. She is so cool.
That's legit.
She's like in a long-term relationship though, so. I really like her. She's awesome. She really is.
That's legit, man. Yeah, I definitely need to get better at that.
That's
and
alright.
it's
It's just time.
we just have so many good seasoned nurses.
There's
that
no
it's
reason
like-
for you.
I mean, in a
Sadly.
code situation, it's like I'll do compressions.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like that's really it.
Yeah. I want to
So-
get better at the charting and get. Oh, dude, it's about this is storming like shit out.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's all good. Oh, dude, I need to give you your parking pass back.
Yes. When you leave, we're getting the parking pass back.
Just remember, because I'll forget.
All right, I'm gonna write it on my hand or something. Well, do you want to play some Mario?
Dude, yeah.
All right, so do you have anything? So podcast.
Yeah.
So the whole thing about podcasting is
I feel like we haven't stayed on like a coherent strain.
this is what's awesome about podcasting because basically what we just had a great conversation, called up, and other people can enjoy that as entertainment because they maybe learn something.
Maybe.
Okay. Do you listen to podcasts?
Oh yeah.
Well, this isn't really a show. This is just
Yeah.
entertainment. This is pure entertainment. But the thing is there anything like you want to promote, or do you want to do anything? Do you want to say anything about yourself?
I'm starting my own podcast, and it's gonna be way better than this one.
Go ahead, do it. It's so much fun. It's kind of like my selfish.
I don't know, man. I don't think I have like. One of my other friends has asked me to do like like a full like kind of like a scripted podcast, like where we come and talk about topics, and I'm like, I'd rather just talk to you
Like this?
yeah. Or like if we are gonna do that, I'd rather it not be recorded. I don't know. I'm just kind of weird about it.
It is a little different, and it's taking some
different.
time.
Yeah.
But
I guess because it's like my own insecurities. I'm like, someone's gonna see this and they're gonna like judge me for what I'm saying.
oh, dude, I'm sure.
But that's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could say something that's totally logical, and it's like someone's gonna be like,
No, I don't agree.
no.
The world is flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I completely agree with that. It's taken me some time after doing like the other little videos on Facebook to become comfortable with it being on camera.
Yeah.
It's taken like I've probably got like 25 videos
Dude,
on Facebook.
I saw that you posted your Spring River video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 250 people have watched it.
I
So I was like, why? At first I'm like, why this one? Why is this the one that so many people have seen?
I was like, oh, he's actually gotten some.
It's
some
weird.
views.
It's so weird. I don't get it. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Do you want to tell Hannah you love her or something?
Sure. Hannah, if you see this, I love you. And aren't you glad I came tonight?
Yeah, we're about to play Smash Bros.
Yeah,
And kick back some more.
for sure.
Uh,
A little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been real.
That's really it. That's all this is. Oh, name. So I'm thinking. So I haven't actually registered it with anything yet. I'm just doing this, getting prepared to register it.
Register what?
The podcast. So you have to
Oh.
register it with and
Like
become
to try and get like.
to be syndicated.
Oh, okay.
So like I'll have to pay like $22 a month to be syndicated, and
Really?
it'll be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Oh.
Yeah, legit. But I gotta have a name, okay? So this is the name that I think I'm going with. Logan's Laboratory.
Just the way you giggled at that, I think you should just stick with it.
Cause like I was trying to do all this other stuff, and I thought I had a great one. I thought rabbit hole, because like I like to say we're going down the rabbit hole. Like I'm going off the rails, but it was already taken by New York Times. And I was like,
Those
yeah.
are D-bags.
I
What
know,
did they do
right?
that for?
So I was like, Logan's Laboratory, man. Like I'm gonna get it syndicated. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it out there.
Yeah, I think you should. That's pretty legit.
And like I'll put the video on YouTube, and then the audio I'll cut out and put that as my podcast until I get all of like the mics and stuff that you're supposed to have.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah,
for sure.
Logan's Laboratory. I'll have to, if I make a T-shirt, I'll give you one. Would you wear it? Would you wear it?
Yeah, I'd promote you.
Would you really?
Yeah.
I'll promote you in anything.
Thank you.
And now, like once, like if it actually becomes
I'm
a
not
thing,
in,
do what?
I'm not in anything.
But no, you could. So like once it like if this thing takes off, you can be like, yeah, I've been on like a nationally ranked podcast. Put it on your resume.
Nationally syndicated.
And then you go on there and you're just like shitting on your job. That's alright. I did a
dropping
video.
names.
I did a video in my uniform.
What?
I didn't think about it. It says a monitor right here. Because like before that, I was
Badge.
like, I work at a hospital in a city, and it's like, Labonter Children's.
Yeah. Nationally known.
Nationally known.
Yeah, as being like a top children's hospital.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's like, all right, well, if I get fired, I know why. I think
you
I
won't even argue. It's like, you know why we call it.
Yeah,
something.
you got me. Like, you found me. Okay, cool. All right.
Just edit out the name.
Yeah, just blur. I'm not that good at editing yet.
If
There's so
this
many-
really blows up, we're gonna have to hire like an editing guy.
Oh my god, I don't know about all that, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so cheap though. Anyways, let's play some games.
It's been real.
It's been real. It's been fun. Thank you for coming.
For sure.
All right. Remember, keep your corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Dude, for